Do as you can see from the screen, the passcode to success is 247-365. Again, 247-365. That means we stay grinding. We stay on our grind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And without any further ado, let me go ahead and bring myself up in here. See, we got 4 real homies in the crib, man. Don't be shy. Throw some in the comments. Let me know who up in this thing. Welcome to Point Blank Travel, everyone. My name is Rod, man. The host that sometimes does the most, and I want to welcome you to PBT Live. And I am excited tonight because we have a special guest, one of the most intelligent individuals that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Mr. Nigel Schroeter will be joining us tonight. And we're just going to be talking about financial goals for 2023, credit cards, credit, points, miles, traveling, whatever you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. And we may have a couple special announcements. I don't know yet, man. I don't know. And let me go over here and see if I see, man, I'm going to make sure my comments working. Oh, I'm going to make sure my comments working. Okay. I see we got Sharice in the house. What's up, Sharice? I was getting ready to say, let me make sure my comments work. We got 3 real homies in the crib, man, but I want to make sure y'all don't be scared now. Don't be scared. In case this is your first time here, allow me to reintroduce myself. Hey, welcome to Point Blank Travel, everyone. My name is Rod. And on this channel, we talk about credit. We talk about credit cards, points, miles, cash back, personal finance, and how to travel around the world or around the country for little or no money out of your pocket. If that's something you're interested in, do your boy a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Give the video a thumbs up, and in my live streams, I will say ring the doorbell. Share the channel with your family and friends. Share it on your social media platforms. And with all that being said, now it's official. Let's roll, baby. Let's get down to business. Y'all in for a treat tonight because your boy number 1 took a nap. So I'm about to be wide awake here in about 4.5 minutes. Give me about 4.5 minutes. I'm going to be wide awake. 5 real homies in the crib, and I am broadcasting from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Arlington, Texas, to be exact. Home of the Dallas Cowboys. And again, I have a special treat tonight. We don't. I say it. If you ever seen the movie Drumline, tonight is going to be old school, which is your boy, meets new school, which is going to be Nigel. And without any further ado, let me make sure he's ready. Make sure he's ready to come up. He's ready. Go ahead, unmute that mic, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him on the screen. Without any further ado, what is going on? Let me add him to the screen. What is going on, my man? How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing great. How y'all doing out there?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. I know we talked earlier. I was wide awake. Now I'm like halfway awake, but your boy will be awake in a minute. So, man, how you doing, man? How's your 2023 going so far?
Treating me very well. I announced on the channel I got this new office. I'm loving it. The new space, just a new environment, and just the grind this year. I feel like every time you enter into a new year, it's just rejuvenating, and it's time for you to get back on the grind and get back fighting. So, I've been swinging heavy, putting out a lot of content, recording a lot of content, a lot of stuff I still haven't released, and just working on so much. So now it's just that time.
Hey, man, I see you, too. You got the new executive chair. You got the mic. You got the suit on. You know, I'm on here with a T-shirt. I'm probably about to get out this jacket in a minute. It's a little warm in here. I don't know. I may have to give you a solo spot and go and turn my heat down, man. So, new office, new year, new look, same Nigel, dropping content. I know you seem like you took a break in 2022. Was that the case, or was I just dreaming?
Yeah, it was a break I took. Just personal stuff, family. One thing about me, I'm family oriented. I love my family. I love the children. My extended family as well. And I really love my YouTube family. But sometimes, we experience, just being people, and we experience burnout. We experience life happening. We experience behind the scenes stuff we don't necessarily want to share with the global world, so the global atmosphere. So, I took a little break and decided, I'm going to come back out and this time come out with a different perspective and a different mindset. Some days I was getting up and I just wasn't motivated, and I don't like to get on here and fake it. When I get on YouTube, I like to be me. I like to be authentic. I like to give the people what the people want to see. and I like to provide value. I'm not going to get on here and just post something just because it makes me money. And I'm not going to get on here and just post just to post. I'm not that type of person. So I waited until I had everything aligned exactly how I wanted. So when I come back out, boom, I'm swinging and we're ready to go.
Man, facts, bro. Y'all, just in case y'all know, this is not an interview. We're gonna be just chopping it up, man, having a good time. It's not an interview. I'm just asking now. It's been a minute since we worked together. We worked together several times in the past. And in case y'all don't know, Nigel is a 23-year-old intelligent young man, businesses, credit guru, finance guru, real estate guru. He's all over the place. He's a teacher. He does quite a bit. So it's always a pleasure to work with him. I see we got 8 real homies in the crib. Ulysses just came in. Say, hello, Rod. How are you tonight? I'm doing well. Hello, Nigel. How are you doing tonight? Welcome back. Yeah, man. Welcome back. My man is back. And I like what you said because sometimes we get burnt out. And it's okay. And I'm experiencing that. Not necessarily burnt out, but like I was supposed to record 3 videos a day, and 3 ended up being 0. I'm live right now, but you know, I read somewhere it's okay to get burnt out and take a break as long as you don't quit. And I'm so thankful that you didn't quit. You just took a break, and you back. You back, and you dropped what? If I would say, did you drop 3 videos today?
3 long form videos, then I dropped probably 6 shorts. Between Instagram, TikTok, and here. Plus my other channel that I work on that I haven't released to the public yet.
Okay, so you got another. He dropped 3 long form videos, 6 shorts between TikTok, Instagram, and what else?
YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
And now he's here. Yo, man. They used
and
to
I did
say,
a live stream.
Man on YouTube. Hell no. I ain't dropped nothing today.
Yeah, I did a live stream right before I called you earlier.
Oh man, wow. We got Wiley Hustle in the building. What's going on, Wiley Hustle? What's up, my sister? How you doing? Say hello, PBT and panel. Hello, chat. And hopefully this chat will get crunk up in a minute. So I know during your break, man, were you still active with credit cards and points them out? Did you get any new cards? Did you get rid of any cards? Or what's your take right now? We've been doing this for a while. What's your take on the whole points and miles thing? Do you think it's kind of slowly fading away, or
as far as credit cards and making that my center of my business model, I moved away from that. I got more into investing in real estate and looking down that path. While I was going, I got my master's degree. I got my houses renovated for my rental properties. I had I got some things straightened out. Some legal stuff that I had going on that I'm sure we're gonna talk about later, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But I had a lot of stuff that was going on throughout that process. So at that time frame to where it was like, okay, as being me, I'm the type of person that until I have all my ducks in a row, I don't like to launch something. And like I said, now I'm going more into real estate, the international markets, traveling, things to that sort. And so that's why I haven't really released. I have a faceless channel that I'm doing, so I haven't really posted that it's my channel or it's me doing it or anything. I just kind of am trying to see how this channel grows on its own and what happens with it. And then I'm also going to be transitioning my main channel primarily towards real estate. I'll still have the Credit Sensei channel with the credit content and just kind of moving that way. And also moving into my nonprofit, which I'm sure too we'll get towards, that more in depth later on. But my whole thing now is philanthropy as well as just elevating in every aspect of life. I feel like education is the gateway to success, and we have to educate ourselves on every aspect of life, and we have to get up every single day with a purpose and a motivation, and that's how I look at it. When I see Rod, I see like every time I look at my phone, I see points blank travel, points blank travel, points blank travel, and so it's like, Rod is grinding at all times. You guys a lot of times don't see my grind because I grind behind the scenes. So Like last night I went and picked up a side gig and made some money doing that. I work at the college as a professor. I'm teaching at nights. I'm teaching during the day. I'm doing these YouTube videos. I'm doing real estate deals. I'm dealing with contractors. I have my hand in so many different baskets. It's hard sometimes to balance everything.
Wow. And again, for those that are just coming in, Nigel was 23, man. Being 23 years old, how did you find all this? I mean, do you consider yourself gifted? You know, have you heard that before? Hey, man, you're a gifted young man.
When I was in school, I was labeled as gifted. My IQ and all that. Of course, they put me in that category. What I learned throughout time is it's not necessarily being gifted; it's how persistent you are and what your work ethic is. Because
Mm.
in school, I was also labeled as a class clown. Some classes, I was labeled as a class dummy. But the thing about it was I was always persistent. If I was being persistent and aggravating my teacher, that was my purpose for the day. That's what I was being persistent in. If I was being persistent in passing my test, that's what I was going in. My mom always told me when you go out to do something, you be the best at whatever it is that you're doing. And that should be your goal and that should be your motive. And I've learned from going to school. I went to school with kids that were much more intelligent than me, from for face value, from what people would see, straight A students, this and that, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm no dummy by far. I graduated with a 4.3 GPA from high school, but on the other hand, I had a different path and I was persistent about my path and I followed it and I've made it to where I am today. And I graduated high school faster than all of them. I graduated a year early. I graduated college faster than all of them. I got my master's degree faster than the majority of them, and I've purchased a house quicker than the majority of them. So that's why I say, like, I find it to be more persistence and strategy than it is necessarily intelligence. I feel like I could take the average Joe and turn them into me within a year if they were just persistent and followed the process. But it's somebody having a work ethic to do it.
Wow. Hey, I want to give a shout out. I see Crystal. How you doing,
Mhm.
Crystal? I saw Crystal came
Hey,
in here.
Chris.
Thank you so much for being in here. That's Nigel's other half. We got Wiley Hustle that came in. We got Ulysses already hit him up. We got Keisha H. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 10 real homies that's in the crib. We got Andre Smith, channel member, just came in. Ulysses is a channel member. I like what you said, persistence. I remember the last time we worked together, I asked you a question. What did you think about generational wealth? And your response is still being repeated amongst my close team. You don't really trip out generational wealth. You trip out generational opportunities.
Opportunity.
And that I have the memory of an elephant, but well, sometimes, but that really rang. It resonated amongst older people to hear someone of your age saying that. And how many YouTube channels do you have now?
Currently I'm running a network of 6. But I'm going to be compiling some of those channels, because of course the Credit Sensei is going to be its own separate thing. We have the Schroeter family channel, we have the travel channel, and then I have my personal vlog channel, and then we're going to be running as well the nonprofit channel, which is what I'm going to be starting getting more into this year.
Gotcha. Okay, so like when it comes to credit, I know you were known as the king of Navy Federal. Are you going to still do credit card videos at all, or you just? I know you say you're going to move toward real estate, but are you going to still sprinkle some credit in their credit cards? Because that
Yes.
okay,
Oh yes, for sure. Credit is a big part of real estate. And that was a lot of the reasoning for me to learn credit. Was I was into real estate, and also I was into to cars. When it came to cars, people would tell you I had a car lot. They may still say that. I got like, I think I want to say like 6 cars right now. I'm a car person. I love cars. I don't. So I will all, but like I said, I'll always go to what I know. As far as credit, it's something that I spend a lot of time and invest a lot of energy in. So I would never completely steer clear of it because I always recognize where I came from.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned real estate. You're moving toward real estate. Uh, how many properties do you own in the U.S. right now, where you live or wherever you don't live? How many properties do you own right now?
I own three properties where I'm currently living. On a technicality, four, because one of my properties has two homes on it. Um, then I own um, 2.5 acres out in San Bernardino, um, California, and um, then I have property, um, another property as well, in Central Florida. So right now, like I said, three, technically four here, one in California, and then another one in northern Central Florida. So we're looking at six here, and then I own one in the Bahamas, and then we're working towards doing some more investments over there.
In which I'm gonna get over to the Bahamas. Whoa, boy, you told me some stuff earlier that really motivated me. So now, something I've been thinking about, and I think I even fell prey to this. And I just want to get your input on it, y'all. This is not an interview. I have no questions written down. Everything I'm asking right now is coming from the dome, or from the top of my head. I think like when people watch content creators such as myself or Nigel, and they see us talking about points and miles and credit cards, they sometimes get tunnel vision. And I want to get your input on it. What I mean by tunnel vision, you get focused on the credit cards where there are so many different other credit aspects out there, whether you need to get a car or a home or purchase rental income, rental properties or real estate. Do you personally think, and I'm gonna give you a spotlight because I'm gonna turn my heat down because with these lights I'm here about to burn up. Do you think people, especially when they first start, because 9 times 10 when you start with credit, you're gonna start with credit cards. You're not gonna really start
Mhm.
unless you get super duper lucky. You're not gonna start with a car or a house. Do you think people get tunnel vision when it comes to credit cards and they get one from Capital One, then they get a second, then they go for a third or fourth, and then by the time when they get ready to make the automobile move or the real estate move, they're kind of saturated with credit cards? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, definitely. And I think it really depends on the person and their ultimate mindset and their goals. For me, I started off, I got a credit card. I didn't even really know about credit. And I just wanted to get to the car. So I went and I made a bad car deal for my first, car. And then from making bad car deal after bad car deal after bad car deal, get into my fourth car is when I learned how to buy cars appropriately. To where today I got a deal where I would say I basically robbed the dealership. Now, granted, of course, the dealership is never going to let you rob them. The bank is never going to let you rob them. They're always going to win on one end of the deal or the other. But being in the situation that I was in and being able to purchase, a car that was at one point looked at to both myself and to Crystal as a dream car, and now being able to drive it around every day on a daily basis, it definitely is eye opening. And then to be able to do it affordably and for cheaper than I would another car that would be, an economy car. I got asked a question by somebody which cracked me up. They said, why did you go and buy uh a Corolla and it's such a basic car, whatever, well, gas mileage and all this stuff, and it's a reliable car, it's a Toyota. And then we drive around a Mustang on a daily basis. We have a luxury sports car. So, some people may say, oh, well, a Mustang isn't a top class sports car, blah, blah, blah. It was my dream car. Got my dream car. It is what it is, you know. And so for me at this point, what I'm looking at is for those of us who, came from humble beginnings, we may have looked at something and that would have been our threshold. That would have been our thought process. For some people, it was just a new car. It didn't matter what it was. You know, I had some friends that went and got a Nissan Versa, a $10,000 car. And for them, that was their threshold. That was as far as they could see. They capped out there with credit. I had some friends that got a $500 credit card, maxed it out. That's where they capped out with credit. I've got some friends that went into houses and properties and things like that. And that's where they've capped out with credit. So I say it all, you know, some people cap out at one house, some people may get two or three, some people may go on and, you know, get to Grant Cardone level, but it's all to where you can see yourself and your vision and your alignment. And that's why I said this year is going to be so much different for me as far as any previous year, because now I've reached the point where my ceiling is so much higher, my views are so much higher, and just everything is at a completely different level. And I feel like that's where we have that issue where a lot of people watch me and I felt like it wasn't authentic if I just sit here and talk about credit cards. But in reality, I'm dealing with the property appraiser, and I'm dealing with the surveyors, and I'm dealing with planning and zoning, and I'm dealing with contractors, and I'm dealing with all these other things. Why am I sitting on YouTube every day talking about credit cards? Why? Because it's bringing in money? No, that's not what I'm going to do. Forget the money. The money doesn't even mean that much to me. You know, so let's be real. Let's bring it to the real level. Why am I only talking about personal cards when I have business cards, and I'm bringing in a lot of, a lot of my deals are done on my business cards. This microphone is purchased off of a business card. Why am I not talking about business cards? So let me start talking about business cards. Let me go back to some of those fundamental skills that some of the people who are just now tuning in, weren't able to get because they didn't watch me from the beginning. They weren't there for that part of the journey. So let's talk about some of those skills. Let's talk about some things that people who are new to real estate need. You know, that's where I'm at today. Is I'm thinking on a completely different level. If you notice, my stuff today is not about the views. I know how to get views. I can post a 4-second video and I can get 1,500 views. I did that. I just did that last week, or actually 2 days ago. I can, at the same token, post a 10-minute video and get 30 views. And guess what? I'm okay with that because I'm not doing this for the money anymore. I'm doing it for the people. Like I said, it was never about the money. And that's what bothered me, was to the point where I would wake up and I'd say, oh, I'm going to record this video because my analytics and my back office says if I do a Navy Federal video and I do one about the secured loan hack, it's going to give me this many views. So I'm going to shoot for that. You know, Rod will tell you guys, because I've talked to him. I had a master plan where I could pump out videos like this, and they were always going to hit. They were always 1,000+ views, just because I know the backside of YouTube like that. And so it just got to the point where it's like, why am I gaming the system? What am I gaining out of this? Nothing but money. So no, let's not do that. Let's do this for the people. You know, when I need to do that, I'll do that to bring more people in. But then I'm going to go back to giving you guys the reality, because that's just what it is. But I see we got so many comments coming in.
Yeah, that's why I want to acknowledge this here. I want to hit up MLW. I'm
Yeah.
speaking there. If you see one, you could definitely chime in. MLW Fisherman, welcome in. Honorable Angelina Northam say, hello, People's Champ. How are you? Hey, Nigel, how are you? Hello, everyone. All #all rise. Honorable Angelina Northam is in the building. We got meeting. I just came in to join. Peace, PBT and Nigel. Peace to the chat. And Honorable Angelina and blessed. Dan, you know the vibes. And did you see somebody you wanted to acknowledge, Nigel?
Oh yeah, shout out to Rocky Noble. I actually was on the phone with Rocky. I had to get off the phone with Rocky to get on this live. So yeah, shout out.
Hey, I knew I saw that name before. Yeah, Rocky, appreciate you coming in, man. And also, I want to give a shout out to Crystal, Nigel's other half, man. Y'all daughter 8 months old now, but it seemed like she was just born yesterday. But every time Nigel's on, man, Crystal, you always got his back. You always got his in his corner. So I really appreciate that. One thing you just brought up, Nigel, is business credit cards. You know, I have a couple of videos drafted about business credit cards, but I'm hesitant. I've been hesitant to record and publish them because I'm like, I've spent so much time focused on a personal level, but then I think about all the content creators out there, whether they realize it or not, if they're trying to get revenue or they are getting revenue, they have a small business. And I think some of these content creators need to start getting business cards. And I'm gonna do a thing where I'm talking about business credit cards and getting this business credit card, getting that business credit card. But then I also want to talk about, I'm gonna do a video where how to apply for one, because a lot of people have bad perceptions. They think you need to make a lot of money. How many business credit cards do you currently have right now?
Um,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the number, hell, I don't remember how many I got no more.
I, I was gonna say off the top of my head, I can tell you it's probably about 15. You know, when I do my credit card counts and stuff, it's crazy. I only really talk about my personal cards. So that 20 something doesn't even include my business cards. That doesn't include I got two business green cards, the Amex. I got a business Amazon card. I got the business, is that the gold? One of them, I don't even remember. I got the floor and decor cards. I got, um, and I have multiple businesses. So any card that I have, I usually have like two or three when it comes down to the business side. That's why I said I got at least 15 to 20 business cards. That's why I said it felt so inorganic to get on here and let's talk about the Navy Federal flagship card. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on American Express business cards, and that's what I'm using.
Right, right. And sometimes at least I feel like, man, I need to get out and make sure people understand that it's more than just Navy Federal. It's more than just American Express. It's more than just Chase.
Yes.
And again, I want to say that I think it's so many people that, you know, sometimes I get concerned, and I don't know if you went through this. I was like, I need to do a video on or live on secure credit cards, but then some people won't be there because they're past the secure credit cards and they have the American Express, and then I do American Express. But what if this person, and I'm not a business credit guru, you know that I'm more of a personal credit guy, yet I have business credit cards. And I think right now, people need to, especially if you're on YouTube, or even if you're not on YouTube, if you're doing Amazon, if you're doing Grubhub, if you're doing Uber Eats, you are a sole proprietor. You're a business, and you need to start now building up that business credit. I recently got me an EIN and all that good stuff. But my question to you, man, how did YouTube play a part as far as being a vehicle for you to create your other businesses that you saw long term? I know you did you use any YouTube revenue to put toward your real estate properties or anything like that?
Oh yeah, because my YouTube entity is set up pretty much as a pass through. So there is some money in my YouTube bank account, and that's what pays for equipment and stuff. The first year I was monetized, I did nothing but buy equipment and all that stuff so that I don't have to pay for it now. So pretty much the majority of stuff that you see when I do my behind the scenes stuff in my office, or anything that I'm recording with these microphones and stuff, that was all paid for with the first year's revenue. So then every year after that, I could take that as a check, in addition to doing giveaways. And now I'm setting up the nonprofit where a portion, I haven't figured out what percentage yet, but a portion is going to go to the nonprofit from the YouTube revenue. And then I've purchased properties, different things with the YouTube money, and bought crypto, Cosmos, stuff like that, with the YouTube money. So that's why I say the YouTube money has definitely been used for other investments and other things. Once it leaves that account and it comes to me in the form of a paycheck, whatever it goes to is kind of what it goes to. I don't necessarily do like a every dollar counts budget to say, oh, my YouTube money is coming here and paying for this or paying for that. But also because I run multiple businesses, that's where certain things with accounting can kind of be funny, because I kind of use YouTube as my main business because it was my original business. So this is where the majority of my expenses come out of. So like my StreamYard and that type of stuff, all that stuff, all those recurring subscriptions and stuff is coming through this business. So, all that stuff is paid for all of the businesses pretty much through this, because why would I set up a separate StreamYard account to go live on a different YouTube channel when I could just connect it,
Right.
So that's why I say the accounting side to it is definitely just kind of different. But I definitely have used YouTube money to um, invest in other things because you know we ultimately we do get paid for this. Um, so it just makes sense to take the money and invest it. And also that's why I said, you know what, why not take some money, invest it in renting a space where now I can expand the channel, I can grow, I can bring in guests now. I got my camera zoomed way into a tunnel vision, but there's a whole nother, executive chair, another microphone, everything. Let me pull it over so you guys can see. So we're gonna start having guests. I'm launching a podcast this year. I mean, we're going to a whole nother level this year. The value you guys are gonna get for nothing is gonna be crazy. And then once we start doing some paid products, the value from the paid products is gonna be astronomical.
And I want to let a small cat out of the bag. So Nigel, for those you just coming in, Nigel's 23. I'm not gonna say that too many more times. I may say it 22 more times. Nigel's 23 years old. Several businesses, master's degree, sitting in an office that he recently acquired. He hit me up today and he came up with an idea. And I'm gonna let him. We're not gonna talk too much about it, but I can tell y'all. Is it okay, Nigel, if I just a little
Oh yeah.
small?
Oh yeah. Give
So
it
he
to
hit me up today, and we're gonna go into a. I don't want to call it a partnership. We're gonna provide a service, and I think the first one is gonna be kind of virtual. Then we're talking about doing some in person appearances, but your boy's gonna be traveling down to Florida, and we're gonna be doing credit, business, real estate. Like Nigel said, it all tied together. So the reason that y'all are even seeing Nigel on this live stream right now is because we had a very lengthy phone conversation today, and he
yeah.
proposed some ideas. And I think he was maybe 13 seconds into it once he took a deep breath. And I said, I'm in. I'm in. You don't even have to sell me, Nigel, because I know everything that this young man touched tends to turn to gold. So I'm not going to I'll maybe let him elaborate a little bit because there's still a lot of logistics that need to be worked out with it, obviously. But we're going to be doing, and I can tell you right now, you definitely want to jump on this because, and we haven't gotten to the pricing or lack of or whatever, but we've talked about this in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and here it
Yeah.
is, 2023. We're visiting early. We're visiting it early in the year, and it's something I've been wanting to do on my own. And I even thought about it several times last year. I'm like, man, Nigel hit me up about this. So stay tuned for more information on that as I get it from Nigel. He's going to be kind of spearheading it, and
Yeah.
if you want to attend, and I can tell you, it's going to be beyond what you hear on our YouTube channels. Am I correct to say that, Nigel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A lot further and a lot more. And we're gonna be bringing in some other professionals. I'm gonna try and reach out. I've already reached out to a couple other YouTubers because we wanted to bring in content creators, but I'm going to be bringing in people from different walks of life. You're gonna meet some, CEOs, CFOs, different people from different organizations that are going to bring in different value. And that's going to be my main thing, is bringing people to you that are going to bring value to you. So if you work in a certain industry, or if you're looking to go into a certain industry, it'll be a great time now, even to let me know, hey, I want to look into this industry or that industry, because I know producers, I know artists, I know comedians, I know people from all different walks of life. And I got real estate guys, I got dog breeders. Remember, that's what initially started me into anything financial. Was originally I was a dog breeder. Platinum Canine Kennels was my business, and that was my first real business that was organized, website, and everything, the whole 9 yards. And I was doing international dog sales by the time I turned 18. So what I'm saying is, I got connections in different places of a lot of different people. And whatever those things are that you want or you need access to, let's network. Let's bring each other together. Right now, if you're in Florida, Central Florida at all, this would be a great time to reach out to me. Because right now I'm looking at building a team and an inner circle within and I'm also looking at extending these branches out. Um, but we're going to be pulling people in from everywhere, and we have connections everywhere. Of course, you guys know Rod's out in Texas and the DFW. I got some connections: Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, different places. We're trying to make big things happen. I want to make success stories. That's why my nonprofit is called Making a Success Story, because that's what we're looking to do, is create success stories. And we want to take this around the globe, and I want to lead you all to a family that's going and create a environment where everyone can thrive, and we don't have to step on each other's toes, because we don't even have to be into the same things, you know. And that's what we want. We're not looking for anybody to pull anybody down. We're not looking for negativity, any of that. We're looking to provide genuine value to people. So we're going to launch this webinar. We haven't decided on a price. We haven't decided on anything yet. But we're doing the webinar first. After the webinar, we'll be doing live seminars, and we'll be offering people to come in and speak, just as well as we'll be offering people to come in and watch and participate and engage. So definitely stay tuned, because we're definitely going to be bringing value to you.
I want to say something, man. And I'm first of all, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm so proud of Nigel. When he hit me up with this, I forgot what time. I woke up about 9. Anwar from Media Night called me, and I didn't even look at my phone. I talked to Anwar for about an hour. Then after that, I looked at my phone. I said, "Oh snap!" Nigel texted me. He said, "Hey, call me as soon as you get a chance." Excuse me. And I didn't blow it off. I called him right away, and then he was busy. He texted me back, but I just felt it was an opportunity that was there. It was an opportunity that was presenting itself right there on my phone. You know, Nigel has some merch and he used to rock it all the time. Matter of fact, I saw him on Instagram the other day rocking a T-shirt. Don't sleep on the money, and I want to elaborate on that. It ain't my saying, and this is still his saying. There it is. Don't sleep on the money. Keep it right there in his office. Don't sleep on the opportunity, man. I heard a lot of people that are in my circle. I know Meet and I doing some business things. I heard Kayla Marr mentioned in their live stream the other day, they got some things in the works. And it seemed like a lot of people in 2022 start becoming more business driven, and networking opportunities are all around us. I haven't worked with Nigel in months. I haven't talked to him in months. He had his newborn baby, wasn't gonna bug him, and my fault, because it's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey man, you all right? Hey, how's Crystal? How's the baby? How's the family?" Not always, "Hey man, let's do a live stream. Let's do this." So I definitely need to do a better job at that. But man, you make contacts in these YouTube streets, and y'all, we right now, and I'm talking about people in this chat. Nigel, myself, we are driving the bus right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are driving the bus, and our destination is wherever the hell we want to go.
Yeah.
We are like Greyhound right now. Our destination is wherever we want to go. And I ain't talking about going to a city. I'm talking about, if you want big things, hashtag big business. If you want hashtag big business is a destination. I saw Meet and I put that in there earlier. About to be huge. If medium business, whatever you want. So when opportunities come knocking at your door, or ringing your doorbell, whatever they do, don't be scared, man. And
Yeah.
we talked about it last year. Here we are. We about to put it into play. And I'm about to bug Nigel, because we're gonna make this happen. I ain't gonna bug him.
Right.
If I don't hear nothing in 3 months, I'm like, "Nigel, what we doing, man? What we doing?"
Oh no, you gonna hear about it. My accountability partner, I have to give it to him. You want to talk about bugging me? He bugs me. He knows exactly who he is, so I ain't got to say who he is. He called me. He's the one who actually came up with this. We came up with this. This was a joke between us. Don't sleep on the money, because don't sleep on the money was, we used to call each other. We would wake up at 4:30 every single morning. My alarm clock still to this day is set to 4:30, whether I actually get up or not. For this reason, we would wake each other up at 4:30 in the morning, and we would talk before we went to work, because both of us went to work at 6 o'clock. So we wake up at 4:30 and we would start doing whatever we were doing for the day to get prepared for the day. And we would be talking about all of our business stuff and our ideas and our goals. And this was one of my business partners in Platinum K9 Kennels when I was running it. And we've made a lot of money together. We got family history together, a lot of stuff. We're tied in, we're locked in forever for life. But that's where Don't Sleep on the Money came from, because it was like, look, we can't sleep on the money today. We got to get up and figure something out. And I always say that's the one thing is, when it comes to that particular person, when we get together, it doesn't matter what's going on. We're going to make some money. We got a way to make some money. We're going to figure something out. And one thing you'll learn about Nigel, you see me in the suit right now, but my uncle always said, he said, one thing I love about my nephew is he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. One thing about me is I'm humble. I don't have a sense of, oh, I've made it to this far, I can't do this or I can't do that. You might see Nigel on the side of the road picking up cans. It ain't because Nigel broke. It's because Nigel know he can go turn them cans into $200 at the end of the day. Whatever's going to make money, it's going to make money. And that's how I am. Everything I look at it now from a perspective of opportunity. And like I said, the most important thing is setting your goals to the ceiling, setting your goals high. Put your goals up there. Don't ever put your goals low. Gosh, I can't think of what that J. Cole quote is right now, but it's like right at the tip of my head. But J. Cole, if you didn't aim too high, then you aim too low.
Ooh.
Whew. And what did Rod always say? Shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars.
You got to, bro. You got, and that was going to lead to my next question, is just get your input on it. It's somebody out there that's listening to Nigel and us right now. We're talking, you're seeing hashtag big business in the comments, but you have to have hashtag small business first to get to big business. Mm-hmm. What would you say right now that somebody that's watching us and their credit is either challenged or they're trying to build their credit to get real estate, and to not just have a 500 credit cards, but to get to the next level? How would you say, what's the best way to start now? And I'm gonna give you some kind of where I want to go with this. Would you secure a car, secure a loan? How would you go? What would be your path for somebody right now that's saying, hey, I'm hearing this. Rod and Nigel sound good. It makes a lot of sense, but here's where I am. I'm not where Rod is. I'm not where Nigel is. I'm not where Kayla Mario is. I'm not where Crystal is, or Meet and I, or Prince Daniel. I'm right here, or Shy. I'm here. I'm here. What would you say to that person? That's
Rod. The people ain't gonna like my response to this one, but I'm gonna give them.
It ain't about liking. We trying to get people to the next level. We ain't worried about falling in love.
I'm gonna give them the real.
Hey, Miss Barbara. Hey, this is your mom,
Please.
Right?
Yeah, that's my mom. What's up, Ma? I love you.
See, I ain't forget. Last time, hey, who is Barbara? Hey, Miss Barbara, how you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
So if you're someone
they ain't gonna like you. I ain't gonna have nothing to do with this. This is all Nigel, y'all. I ain't got nothing to mess with. I just want to make sure y'all hearing.
You're in a challenged predicament right now, and you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. I want you to do two things. These are my two social experiments before I get into the actual academic portion of it. Social experiment one is, I want you to take a ride around your neighborhood. I want you to take a ride around the worst neighborhood in your city, or a neighborhood that's worse than your neighborhood, if you feel like you're in the worst neighborhood. And then I want you to take a ride around the best neighborhood. Reason I want you to do that is I want you to see where you are, where you could be, and where you're going. And that's going to keep you motivated every single day. Whenever I think and I get into a state, or if I slide into a slight depression, I go back and I ride through my old city, or I ride through the worst neighborhoods, and then I ride through my neighborhood, and then I go and ride through neighborhoods nicer than mine. And what does it do? It opens your eyes up, and it allows you to see all the different things that are going on in the world around you, and see the different opportunities, and see the different things. When you ride through the poor neighborhoods, there might be certain things that might catch your eye. You might be like, wow, I see a really nice car over here, this or that. And then you might ride through a rich neighborhood, these people drive an old beat up car, but they live on the beach. And how I want you to look at that stuff, do a social experiment, really take in everything around you in these neighborhoods and see, are you willing to make certain sacrifices for certain things? Are you willing to sacrifice a new car now for the beach house? Or is that not a sacrifice that you're willing to make? What are the sacrifices that you're willing to make? Maybe you don't want the beach house. Maybe you want the farm in the country. Maybe you don't want the farm. Maybe you want the gated community, but you don't want to be by the beach because you don't want the homeowners insurance, whatever it is. I want you to take the time to ride around the different places around you and really soak in your environment. Because as I always say, we're in a system of socioeconomic warfare. We're not in a racial system. Not to say that racism doesn't exist. I'm not denouncing that. But what I'm saying is the financial problems that we have primarily are due to socioeconomic issues. If you don't know what that is, go Google it, and that's gonna Google it, YouTube it, whatever. That's gonna take you to a whole nother mental level. Now, thing number two, after that experiment, what I want you to do is I want you to on a journey, set out on a journey to find two accountability partners, two people with like minds as yourself, and you three are going to be each other's group, and you guys are going to focus on boosting each other up every single day, bouncing ideas off of each other, building each other, growing each other, educating each other. And you don't even have to, when I say come up with an accountability partner, do like I do with mine and spend an hour or 30 minutes on the phone every morning, or wake up early to talk to that accountability partner. You don't have to do that. Send a text message. Maybe you work with this person, talk to them at lunch, or when you pass by each other, say something, or send each other, quick, a quick YouTube or TikTok video that you might watch that has information on it. Just bounce things off of each other and build something that will grow and allow you to make it to the next level. Now, as far as the education piece, you guys are already in the right place. If you're somebody who's challenged with credit, you're somebody who's challenged with finance, you got two great people with knowledge here that are willing to help you. Just as well as there's plenty of information on the internet. There's plenty of information in other finance YouTubers. But check out the videos, watch them, and soak in the knowledge. I would say personally, get a secured credit card. But what I would say is, before you get a secured credit card, what I would do is have some source of income. I would say the best thing and the most stable thing for most people starting off their journey. I'm not saying this is your end goal, but to start off, if you have a W-2 employment, it makes it easier to get financing for real estate. You can go to a bank and you can open up a checking account, and you can use a sign up bonus off that checking account with your direct deposits. Take those direct deposits, get the sign up bonus from the checking account, use that to open a secured credit card. Now you're building your credit. You didn't have to spend money to put down for the secured card. You can even go with Capital One, and you might still make money and get your secured card because they offer the $50 down for a $200 limit. Not that I'm promoting Capital One, but hey, Rod gave me a scenario. So we're trying to get out the mud. So we're using the cheapest and the easiest stuff that we got. So I got a little job I'm working at McDonald's. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take $50, or I'm gonna take my check, let it direct deposit into a bank account. That bank account's gonna give me back $200 in a sign up bonus. I'm gonna take $50 out of that, put it towards a Capital One secured card. Now I'm building my credit with that. From there, I'm gonna be disputing and working on getting the other stuff off my credit report. And once I get my report cleaned up a little bit, I'm going to other banks, and I'm going to be trying to get sign up bonuses and make those little pennies and investing as I can see fit. Now, of course, you know, you're also going to be looking for a better job. You're going to be looking for more money, more revenue as the time progresses. And then eventually you're going to be looking at taking those skills that you've gained off of those jobs and applying them into self-employment. And then eventually you'll phase out of employment into the business realm where you're going to be paying somebody else to do those tasks and you can sit back and just manage and monitor.
Wow. Y'all, man, that was a mouthful. And if you didn't get it all, it's free to go back and watch the replay. Don't go rewind right now because you don't want to miss out on whatever else we're about to talk about. But it's free. It don't cost you nothing to go back and watch the replay. You know, I love, you're gonna hear me say this several times, but I love working with Nigel because his mindset is so expansive. It's so broad. And I want to read Honorable Angelina Nordstrom's comment. I'm grateful for your advice, Nigel. And Rocky, great advice. His mother is here, got to be proud of her son. Jen, great advice. You know, because you can ask several people that same question, and I can word it different ways, and you're going to get different answers. Most people are probably going to be like me and take the path of least resistance. Go get a secure car, get a secure loan. But look, he told you to ride around where you live now, a neighborhood you used to live in, and a neighborhood you want to live in. I, in my life, have never heard anybody put it like that. Great advice. Great advice. Where you been, where you could be, and where you're going. You know, and I might not be putting it in the same different order that he put it in. Mm-hmm. But right now is, you know, I'm going to say this too, man. I'm going to give y'all another piece of advice. As you're watching, and I see we got a couple people that just came in, as you're watching content creators that are talking about business and credit, it's cool and it's fun and it's interactive when you're in a live stream. But if you really want to get to knowledge, and Nigel, correct me if I'm wrong, because Nigel don't do as many live streams as I do. He do a few. He used to do several. If you really want to get to knowledge, go and watch the videos, the older videos, because we're not distracted. We're not reading comments. We're not going back and forth. We're just spitting out straight game. And one of the things I want to do this year is be more expansive and stop saying, well, they don't want to hear this, or only a few people are going to be wanting business credit cards. Right now, if it's only a few, like Nigel said, and I looked today and I was shocked. Nigel got 15,000 subscribers on his primary channel. And he's talking about, he ain't worried about subscribe. He ain't even worried about the views. He's just worried about getting the information out there. And that's what back to the basics. And I want to do this here. Actually, I skipped one. It jumped up on me. Good evening, the Points My Channel. What up, your favorite couple channel members? Also part of the Alliance, the executive team, Nigel Schroeter in the chat, working and listening in the background. Congratulations on your achievement, Nigel. Thanks. What's up, Yvonne with Etta, my sister? Good evening, Rod and Nigel. Glad you're here. Hello, all in the chat. I have known him for a long time. I knew he was going to be successful since he was 14. Wow. And then we got, the hellos and the hays, and I'll let y'all continue to speak to one another. I appreciate that. Did I miss something? So Nigel, now me and you was talking about something today that, y'all, I'm sorry, this sounds so improper English. You and I were talking about something today. International real estate opportunities, and I mean, you don't have to, you can. I'll just give you the opportunity. Can you elaborate on that? I know you've given me an idea that I'm about to work towards, and guess what? I'm going to use YouTube revenue to take care of this. I'm not going to take, I always felt like my money that I go, and I'm working for this. If I shoot a video, I'm live, I'm sitting here, it's taking time. But I always felt like if I work for my money, that's the last money I want to spend. I want to spend money that's passive or
semi-passive
or recreational. So I'm going to take my YouTube money, my YouTube revenue. But you tell me about an opportunity, man. I'm glad it's only 10 people in here because I don't want everybody to go jump on this opportunity all at once before I So, yeah. But you would tell me about some of the Bahamas, man. Is this the right time? Should we save it for the webinar, or?
I'm going to say the specifics for the webinar, but okay. what I'm going to put out there right now is what I've been saying this whole live stream and what I've been saying in all my recent videos. This year is about expansion. It's about a broader mindset. It's about a broader state of mind and higher goals. Think outside the box. And if we go back to the older days, if we go back and look at 2008, when we talk about the markets crashing and all these different things, one thing you have to understand is the only way to hedge against your American real estate, the only way to hedge against your American dollar is to have money invested in other places. Now, why I specifically talked to Rod about the Bahamas, I know more about it. I have a legal status in the Bahamas, and most importantly, and what I think makes the Bahamas more attractive to me as well as to a lot of other investors is there are no income taxes in the Bahamas. There is zero income tax for American citizens that live for more than 6 months at a time out of the year in the Bahamas. There is no visa requirement to live in the Bahamas, besides the factor of having to leave every 7 months or get an extended, get your stay extended, or of course you can apply for permanent residency, which is $200, which allows you to live there for longer, which is a lot cheaper than taxes on $100,000 for those of you who that might have flew over your head. Um, but even further, it is the country with the third highest GDP in North America. So that leaves the United States, Canada, and then the Bahamas is next. It is an English speaking country, and it is the closest country besides Canada and Mexico to the continental United States. Of course, Canada and Mexico have land borders with the US, so the closest island nation is the Bahamas. So think about those things. Look into some of the political aspects and things that are going on in our country as well as in their country. I don't like to talk politics on live, so that's why I'm not really
Right.
getting too far in depth in it. But look into some of the stuff that's going on and use your imagination, and then realize that our dollar stretches further in foreign countries. Not every foreign country, because like the United Kingdom and some other countries might be pound for pound or dollar for dollar with us. However, the US dollar stretches further in Canada, it stretches further in Mexico, it stretches further in the Bahamas. Even though we're at a 1-to-1 ratio with them, their minimum wage is $5 an hour, ours is 8. Do the math. Stretch your money, make smart investments. And that's what I'm going to say. As far as specifics and locations and stuff like that, we're saving those for the webinar. Because even further than, I talked to Rod about one specific location today. Um,
Mhm.
we talked about one island. There's 700 islands in the Bahamas, and there's a lot more that we can go into. So I'm giving you guys some game right there in itself. Now, if you go out and do your research, you will find so quickly and easily, boom, this is where I need to be at. All right. But I want you guys to understand what you're getting into. That's also part of why I don't want to give out all the game here, because we're not going to be as long and as expansive on these topics tonight as we are going to be in the webinar. During the webinar, we're going to have hours for you guys to talk and ask questions and stuff like that. We don't have that tonight, so I
Right.
can't explain all that in depth. So I also don't want to leave you guys in a state where you don't know and you're just going off of my word.
And it's crazy. Mario Williams, I see you coming in. Curtis Davis, what's up, man? How you doing?
So Kurt,
You know Mario Williams?
no, I know Kurt.
Okay, I know Curtis. I've seen Kurt. Mario, hey, if this is your first time here, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Anybody that's in here, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And what Nigel keep talking about with this webinar is we're going to be working together, and we're going to be doing a webinar along with other uh, investment financial professionals. And then we're going to eventually get to live speaking events, something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So Nigel hit me up today and broke it down. And like he said, we're not going to get into to depths of it. We don't need to. But man, a lot of people coming in here. This is pretty cool. But it is so cool to just be able to work on this. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. And Nigel may know these people. It's so ironic because I know you know Dwayne, how to build credit TV. He was speaking
Yeah.
to me late 2022 about living abroad and how our dollar stretches. You remember Travel Explorer Click, David?
Yeah.
He retired. He just turned 51. He retired. He living in Colombia.
Yeah.
And
Knowledge is too.
huh?
Shanti. Knowledge Suave.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's in Colombia. I had a couple that hit me up that watches my channel that's living in Bali. I got a lot of subscribers in the Philippines, which I don't know why, because I talk about American credit and they don't have it. But hey, it is what it is. Love y'all. Shout out to y'all. Uh, you know, but a lot of people I know have turned to living abroad because our dollar stretches further. A lot of the times, I'll tell you one thing: when I went to the Bahamas, when I landed, it was like an instantaneously different feeling. It's like I got off the plane and I instantly just felt like relief. Like it was like all the stresses of the world just flowed out of me, and the culture runs in and embraces you. The people embrace you. It was just like it was completely different from anything I ever experienced in America. And I don't know. I know you traveled a lot, Rod. So I don't know how you felt about that with different foreign countries. But I know for me, when I landed, it was just like a completely different atmosphere.
I think I traveled during a different era of my life, a different time setting in my life. Like right now, I would definitely feel that same sensation that you're describing. Uh, like no job, no work for a brief moment, and not just that, but all the stuff that we deal with in America on a day to day basis. And y'all, let me say this here because it's on my mind. We're not selling anything tonight. We just mentioned the webinar. If you don't come, it's on you. We ain't even got to it, no prices and then we ain't even talk.
Yeah.
Nigel, I haven't even talked about that. We're just putting it out there because I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be limited space. It's gonna be limited space, and that's why I wanted to mention that and then get around to some of these. And if y'all have questions about credit or credit cards or investments or real estate, please put it in the chat. That's what Nigel and here and I are here for. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. When I say that, or any other person say that, this is free opportunity to get knowledge, man. If I say, hey, if you have a question about credit cards, real estate, investments, put it in a comment. Man, there are people out there. I've had the pleasure of meeting, I forgot his name, Charles Dubo or something like that. Or I forgot his name. I want to say I heard Grant Cardone speak. I did in person. Man, these dudes charging thousands of dollars for you to hear what me and Nigel right now is saying for nothing. I
Yeah. You
mean,
know, I was in the clubhouse room with Grant Cardone and they didn't even know it. And he said something to me. I was like, wait, what? I was like, this is
and
the
that
real
voice,
Grant
you hear him
Cardone?
talk. Nigel, once you hear that dude talk, man, it's the confidence is there, and that's
Yeah.
what I think Nigel and I, excuse me, share the same common goal is we want people to have that same confidence, like uh Bahamas and Nigel was saying he felt this sense of relief. And again, we can't get into the depths of it, but man, there are so many opportunities. And will I ever live abroad? Probably not. Can I live there for a few days at a time? Definitely so. I blame that on the Navy. When I went places, we wouldn't stay no more than 5 days. After about 5 days, I was tired of it. I was ready to go and see so many different places. I mean, I've been to Fiji a couple times. I've been to Jakarta, Indonesia. No, Jakarta, yes, Indonesia. I've been to Penang, Malaysia. I've been to Muscat, Oman. I've been to Dubai, Jebel Ali, Abu Dhabi, Brunei, Bahrain, Hawaii 15 times. I've been all over the world. So can I ever stay there for good? I don't know about that. But I'm starting to see maybe that was the younger Rod. Maybe the younger Rod couldn't stay there forever. But these older dudes, see, they tend to be doing a damn good job of it. And I think David from TEC show, he has a nice apartment. I want to say he paid maybe $400-$500 a month. Well,
Mhm.
man, you can't get no apartment nowhere in America. Maybe you can, and smack dab in the middle of the hood. So
Uh, yeah, a 3 bedroom on the beach, in the part of the Bahamas that I was on was only like 1,200 a month. And sometimes you can find them for 1,000 because the locals don't want them because they're on the beach and it's a flood hazard. So it's a much different aspect. Same thing with Mexico. You go over there in the Tijuana area and stuff, you can find stuff dirt cheap because they're different. It's looked at differently by the locals than it is looked at by us as Americans, and the values that we have and the things that we want. One of the bigger things that I noticed when I was in the Bahamas that I liked was it's not the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Everybody has a car, but it's just a car. Whatever car you got, it's what you got. You're not competing with your neighbors to buy the nicer car, or have the nicer this, or have the nicer that. It's not that. And one thing that I did like that was different about the Bahamas, and like I said, not that um, I base my living or anything on that. But a lot of times as Americans, and especially as African Americans, we kind of get sold on certain places like, oh, we'll go to Atlanta or this city because it's more friendly for you as an African American. um Being in the Bahamas, you're in a country where the majority of the population is black, so you don't really experience racism because it's just not there. It's a black dominated country. And then when you travel to certain other countries, there maybe aren't black people or fewer black people, or there's just not the sense of racism like there is in America. So that was the one thing that I saw, for myself, and I've heard from others with traveling to different foreign countries. Is in a lot of foreign countries you don't experience it, because it's something that's kind of embedded into our society, rather than something that, um, per se is a human thing. It's not natural for humans to be racist. It's stuff that we're educated on, and therefore it continues cyclically in our country. um so it obviously occurs in certain countries and certain places, and obviously people travel too that are and aren't. But that was just one thing for me that I noticed as well, from that aspect of it. And like I said, I typically avoid politics, religion, stuff like that, but just something that I felt like was a key point, and being there too for comfort. Another thing is the gun laws over there. If you're someone who doesn't like guns and stuff like that, there's currently it's extremely hard to get a carry permit or anything, just as well as get a gun. But the one thing that I liked was I went to Goombay, for a Junkanoo Fest, and you don't have to worry about people coming in and shooting stuff up. There's security everywhere you go. I mean, everywhere you go, if you go to a festival, if you go to a store, if you go to a hotel, everywhere there's always security. There's always someone there. It's like you don't even have to pay for security if you are someone of status because they're there anyway. And the islands are, so family and culturally oriented that there's not all this, aggression and random bouts of, aggression and things happening. So I just, like I said, you could step on somebody's shoes, bump into them, whatever, and it's just perfectly fine. Just keep on moving, So I just like the atmosphere differently.
now I would tell you this here, and we got a couple good comments here. I see Etta got a good comment. I want to acknowledge Angelina's comment, and then I see Curtis. I've traveled extensively, and Nigel hit a good point. I've never experienced race. Now, I didn't experience racism traveling abroad, but I did experience, but not to the, only to a certain degree. I don't know what you call it. I guess countryism. they they didn't like Americans, period. It didn't matter what color you were. But for the most part, it seemed like African Americans were well received in foreign countries. And I had people in places that had darker skin. It wasn't black, but they had the darker. But they were like, "You like me? You're like me. We're alike. We're alike." They felt like they could relate to me because we were both dark complected,
Mm-hmm.
and I got treated differently. And when I say differently, I guess in a better manner. Hey, I take care of you. I take care of you. And I'm using this accent, but it was in different countries. It wasn't in one place. It was in places like Philippines, Thailand. I forgot wherever else I was, and I heard that. So it's different. I know Angelina Northam said the Bahamas sounds lovely. Hell, the Caribbean as a whole sounds interesting as far as living there. You know what, y'all? A super duper quick story. I joined the Navy in 1989 to go to I wanted to go to two places. I wanted to go to London and I wanted to go to Bahamas. I've yet to been to either of them, and that was 1989, and I still haven't gone. I joined to go to two places, Bahamas and London.
We got to change that. We got to take the Bahamas one time.
Oh, I got to, man, because it bugged me every time I think about it. It bugged me because it's like, dude, I've been all over the world, but I didn't never went to the two places I joined the Navy to go to. The more money you have, the better you execute. Curtis, depending on the mentality, I'm gonna say this here, man. It ain't how much money you make; it's what you do with what you have.
True.
It's not how much
I
you
think
make.
I see Curtis's point though is the more money you have, the more opportunities you have to execute. What I would say.
Because I know a whole lot of fools with money and they don't execute at all. But I like when people put stuff in here like that, because even though I had I guess a rebuttal to that statement, it depends on who you are. That's a true statement. What Curtis got on the screen, it's a true statement. I want to get to Etta, and I'm gonna come back to Curtis because Curtis got a couple more comments. At age 55, here's hoping and praying every one of my friends and family make it to that age and older. I'm gonna pause right there, y'all. It's a lot of our young folks not even making it to 25.
Yeah.
It's a lot of our young folks not even making it to 15. I only read a comment twice if I don't understand or I like it. In this case, I love it. At age 55, here's hoping and praying every one of my friends and family make it to that age and older. Life has a different meaning with material things that showcasing. Hallelujah, amen, sister. And I always say, hey, sis, hey, my sister, because I'm going to tell you something, man. Watches, cars, it ain't going to make you happy. You can go in there and look at your watch all day long. You can go out there and rub on your car and wipe it down all day, but I guarantee your car ain't going to say, Rod, it's going to be all right. I guarantee you ain't gonna look at your watch and it's gonna be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then there's a time on your watch say, "Hey, Rod, don't worry. I know you're going through something right now, but tomorrow it's gonna be okay." Your car and your watch ain't gonna say them two things. So I feel what Etta's saying. Now, I heard something the other day, man. I didn't make this up, so I ain't gonna take no credit. I forgot where I was. I was at some live stream, and they said, and I think Les Brown or somebody said it. Don't quote me on this, but money can't buy you happiness, but it sure is a damn good down payment. I ain't know how to take that, because I'm not broke. I've been broke. Now, broke. I tell you what, being broke don't buy you no happiness. It don't bring happiness, but there are a lot of people out there that may not be as fortunate as other people. They say, "Oh, if I had all this money, I'd be happy." Not necessarily. I've seen a lot of people walk into my dealership and they put on their credit application. They make $3,000 a month. And I look at their family and they're so happy and close knit. And I see an individual walking there and they put $16,000 a month and they look miserable as hell. And they're trying to buy a car because that car is going to become their new best friend. I don't think y'all heard me. Let me go to the next comment. I don't think they heard me.
Hey, I seen 2 comments recently about money that were crazy. And one of them was one, like you said, where it was like, "Oh, well, money doesn't buy you happiness, but what's it called? Get you so close you don't know the difference." I would happily disagree, because I made a lot of it, and I can just tell you that I know people that have made crazy amounts of money, and just being around people and they're miserable. I've seen people commit suicide, all types of things. And you'd be like, wow, this person had a dream life. One of the girls I went to middle school with, we all got off the bus. She's running home happy to go see her dad. gets in the house and her dad, well, he's there, but he's not there, you know. And then I found out later on that the area that I grew up in, it was, you know, there was one side of our city that was extremely affluent, but that side of the city had the highest rate of people taking their own lives. And it was just the stresses and things that came with it, and the stigmas and the stereotypes, and that you're supposed to take care of everybody because you have money now, and you're supposed to do this now, and you're supposed to have this car, and you're supposed to have this and that, and keep up with all these stereotypes, and people just can't do it. So then some of them end up being miserable, and they can't tolerate themselves or the people around them, and they can't take it, and they try to take an escape. The other comment that I saw recently, and one that I look more towards, was um, basically stating that money doesn't, uh, having a lot of money doesn't define you as a person, but it rather amplifies the person that you already are. So if you're somebody who's already arrogant, you'll get more arrogant. If you're somebody who's already depressed, you'll get more depressed. You know, so basically saying that money really amplifies you. If you're a giving person, you're going to be more giving now that you have money. If you're a stingy person, you're going to be more stingy. You know, and those are the things that I really more see with money, is that it more amplifies the person that you were initially, or the person that you truly are. It allows you to be that person, because in majority of cases when you get money, people feel like it equates to power. So they take it as their power drive. And a lot of the times the people around you won't question you when you have money. When I was young, I made a lot of dumb decisions with money, but I didn't have friends that were around me that were willing to say, "Hey, Nigel, this is stupid. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" Because they were more scared that I wouldn't financially support them than they were that I was making a dumb decision.
Man, you're so right. Again, um, you're right. There are a lot of people that aren't happy. And if you look at it, there are people that hit the lottery that don't want their identity to be disclosed, because they don't want the pressures.
Mhm.
They don't want the instantaneous stardom or celebrity or whatever. Or I'm rich now. They just want to be chill. I can tell you right now.
If I hate it, I'm disappearing.
I'm gonna go up. There's a couple comments that I star. You right, man. And right now, yo, I don't want to be. Oh, I forgot more hair growth. I did say, hey, what's going on? But I don't want to be wealthy or rich no more. I want to be free. I think Nigel said that earlier in this live. I want to be free. I want to
Mhm.
be free. I want to be. What I mean by free, you have to have money to maneuver. You have to.
Mhm.
My idea of ending my life successfully. I'm gonna give y'all some pointers here. My idea of ending, I ain't talking about the end of my life next year or nothing, but my life, the next 20 years, 30 years, however long I gotta live. I first and foremost want my offspring to be taken care of. I want my significant other to be taken care of. I want to wake up every day without an alarm clock, whatever time that happen to be. That's just when I'm getting up. I want to wake up today and say, I'm bored in Dallas, but I'm about to go here. And when I get to there, wherever that is, I don't want to have to count pennies and dollars. I don't
Mhm.
care about impressing Tom, Sue, Harry, Sally, Renee, Shaniqua, and nobody else. I just want to impress myself. I may have a suit on today and some 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 sweats that don't match tomorrow. I might have one Reebok shoe on, one Nike shoe, a purple sweat jacket, and some orange pants. I don't care. I don't care who's judging me. That's the life I want to live. I just,
Hey, I had
uh,
I had when I started doing the dogs. This is what really opened my eyes. I had these guys, and this is um way back, and they ended up they grew up on a farm and ended up making it big in agriculture and blah 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 whatever. And they came to me to be investors. I kid you not. They come, and we're meeting them, And when we go to meet them to do this investment deal, my homeboy calls me over. We're going to meet them at his apartment, whatever. They pull in, the guy hops out, and he hops out of the truck, and the truck was a nice truck. It wasn't brand new, but it wasn't old. You could tell it was, a truck that, it was a nice truck. But he gets out, and this dude is wearing flip flops, swimming trunks, a white t-shirt. And he's holding a backpack, and he walks in there and everything, and we're talking to him and everything, and then I'm just like, yo, bro, I was like, not to be funny, but we said we were meeting about business. We all came prepared, dressed in business attire. What are you wearing? Like, are you serious? And he opens the backpack, and the backpack's full of money. He goes, well, do you think I'm serious now? And he goes, don't ever let somebody's appearance fool you, because appearances will fool you, but you don't know who is who. And for me, I get that all the time. My that's one thing that my accountability partner and myself kind of disagree on, because when I'm not live and stuff, you see me in person, I look raggedy, and it's okay, because that's me. When you see me in person, I'm going to be walking around in a t-shirt and some sweatpants, comfortable. I'm not going to be walking around in a suit. That's not me. I did get my nickname Suave because I like to dress up. I like to throw on the Versace shades. I like to put on a little nice watch and go out and enjoy myself. But also, when I'm not doing that, I like to be a person. I'm a real person. So you'll see me in sweats. You'll see me at the park with the kids playing, sweaty, dirty, whatever. That's me. I'm a real person at the end of the day. And we kind of disagree on that sometimes with, okay, well, you should be walking around in, semi-professional attire, professional attire, whatever. And that's just not me all the time. Sometimes I just feel like wearing sweats or gym shorts or whatever it is. I'm a person, and
I feel
that
like wearing that every day, Nigel. Every day that I'm not at work. Like right now, y'all, under here, I got on some sweatpants. Some days, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Some days I could have a sweater on and be doing a live stream and have some Adidas and some sweatpants, because you can't see below this here area right. You can't see below here. You don't know what I got on. I might be in here some boxers, but I don't. I have pants. So don't try to start no rumors now. But when I was in New York, man, I never forget this past time. Uh, and I got a phone call, and Brown Girl Bella said, "Hey, I'm across the street at this location from your hotel. You want to come over and have a cocktail?" I said, "Yeah, I'll come over there." We had already met. I said, "Yeah, man, give me a minute." And I'm standing outside my hotel, y'all. This is crazy, man. I met the dress code from the waist down, but from the waist up, I didn't. Meaning I had on slacks, some Allen Edmonds shoes, which are $400 a pop. But from here up, I had a gray PBT. It looked just like this, except it was great. I had a PBT logo T-shirt on. I said, man, I'm not going. Get on this slow ass elevator going way back up to whatever floor I'm on to change shirts. I'm just gonna walk over here. And I'll never forget, Monster from House of X said, he came in there later on. He said, "Hey, PBT, do you realize this is a upscale establishment? I can't believe you came over here with a T-shirt." I said, "I'm gonna tell you, man, money talk, bullshit run a marathon." Excuse my language. I ain't worried about how I'm dressed. I buy a shirt if I got to. Matter of fact, I pay somebody to go get one. And not that I was bragging or nothing. It was just real talk. Like, I'm not here to impress nobody. I came over here to have a couple cocktails with y'all and eat and whatever else. And do you know, nobody said nothing to me because I carried myself in a respectful manner. I wasn't acting a fool, whether I had a T-shirt on or a three-piece suit. You can have a three-piece suit on and be in there acting a damn fool, and they're going to kick you out anyway. If you're in there in a T-shirt and acting like you got some sense, maybe they don't. And it was cool. I had a good time, but I like what Nigel's saying, man.
But here's the thing: you could have had on a suit jacket, and you could have spilled wine on your suit jacket, and had to take it off. That's none of their business. Why does it matter? You're a person. Like, you get what I'm saying?
You're right. And I ain't thinking next time I go in there with a T-shirt. Yeah, I mean, I have my suits out in the outside somewhere. I wasted wine. I was drinking cognac, but yeah, I wasted some cognac on it. Hey, we got Miss DC here say good evening, that Rod and that Nigel and the entire chat stopping by from the STL. And there's a lot of people that may be coming through that are used to seeing Nigel and I work together. Well, you're going to get a chance to see us work together more. We do have a webinar coming up, and again, I'm just in this. I may have some input, but this is Nigel spearheading this, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Shy, I wouldn't tell people I won the lottery. I know you wouldn't, Shy. You too shy to tell people you won the lottery. I would just say I came up and want to share whatever amount I'm sharing with them, honestly, from a personal safety standpoint. And that's so smart because once people know you got a lot of money, you might want to shot. That is so smart because once they know you got a lot of money, they're gonna keep coming back. You feed a cat once and they keep coming back, baby.
Oh no, I'm telling you, I wouldn't tell people at all. But if it got to the point where like it made it where people could see it, I would disappear. I'd be out of the country because the way that I look at it is you become a target, and you don't know who you're a target to. When you obtain massive amounts of money quickly, like for myself, I'm living pretty good. But I'll tell you, if you run up on me, I ain't got not a single dollar on me. All you gonna get is a credit card, and that credit card by the time you get to the register is gonna be declined because I'm gonna lock it and whatever. You ain't
Hey,
gonna
I didn't get a chance to tell you this, y'all. For anybody out there, it ain't happening no more, so y'all ain't got to worry about it. But I've said it on here several times, and I don't think it was nobody from YouTube, but I've said several times I keep credit cards in my center section of my car. 2 days before Christmas, bro, I woke up. I went outside. I said, man, let me put some on my card. I noticed my center section was up in the air, man. 12 of my credit cards were taken out of my center section. December 23rd, 2022. Boy, you talking about furious. But do y'all know? I'm here to tell you. I'm only elaborating on what Nigel just said. Do you not know not one single charge was made on my card? On any of the 12 cards. I was shutting them down, like just shutting them down. Then I had to make a couple phone calls. I'm sorry, but the G in me, I went out there the next night, but about 3 nights later, the G in me, I'm gonna let y'all figure out the G in me. I got plenty of sleep that afternoon, and I was out there that night in the cut. I left my doors unlocked. I left my door on my car unlocked. I was waiting. I was like, please come back for something else. Because I'm about to shoot this whole damn neighborhood up. I promise you. Obviously, he did, but yeah, man. So, man, I felt so violated, man. And I mean, they didn't use it, but the fact that I just felt violated. I'm not gonna get into that. I just felt violated.
I definitely am with you on that, and that's why I always tell people. Once again, I'm a person. If you see me in public, I'm a personable person. I talk to people. I'm not the person who be like, "Oh, get away from me," blah blah blah. But please do not walk up and touch me.
I don't like that either, man.
Please do not walk up and touch me. Make sure you say my name from a distance. I had this happen to me recently, and it could have turned out to be a very bad situation. And it just happened to be that the person didn't approach me in a manner where I felt threatened. But I always tell people you have to be cautious when you approach people because we are still people. You know, like I said, I have no problem with talking with people. I give my personal phone number out. You know, somebody was on a live stream me earlier, called me after the live stream. We had a full hour-long conversation. That's when Rob was calling me back. And I told him, hey, I'll call you back. I'm on with a subscriber. You know, but I have no problem with talking to people. I have no problem with meeting people, anything like that. I've gone and met subscribers out different places and engaged with them. Not a problem for me, but just always realize that no matter if it's your favorite musician, your favorite YouTuber, whatever it is, they are still people. You know,
man, I had one example of that. That was crazy. Oh my God. I'll get into that, man. But I'm gonna say is 2 things happened. One of them I ain't gonna even talk about, which was terrible. And the day that I was out and this lady said, "Oh my God, you on YouTube? You're Point Break Tribe." I'm like, yeah. A black little sister. She was like, "Oh my God, that's really your hair." She just ran up to me and grabbed my hair. I'm like, whoa. Come on, man. We in public. I mean, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
You could be ready to stab me. You know, that's not cool what you're doing right now. And it was It was scary, man. Now it was
Yeah.
scary. Like, man, it happened so fast. I'm like, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. When I was 17, I was like, boy, I wish I was Ralph Trash Van or want a new edition. People, women, girls was running from me. No, no, I don't. Hey, Angelina said not a PBT logo shirt. Oh, no, where? But she caught me off guard, Angelina. I was outside the hotel. I could have went upstairs and changed. I had slacks on, and I will say the next night I didn't carry a suit to New York anyway. It was all of us. It's hot as hell. But the next night we did go out to dinner, and I had on slacks, shirt, shoes. I dressed up. But when you catch me off guard, it's gonna be come as you may. I'm not gonna. Not because it was Bella, but I'm not going. I had two choices: get my butt across the street and spend as much time as I could with her, or waste time, go upstairs, change, and do all this other stuff. And not, so I just went across. She understood. She was cool. All right, private investors don't care about appearance. They want their money moving and growing, or they just believe in your idea. Yep, fact.
Yep.
That's one thing I like about Seattle. We don't do dress code. Someone looking homeless could be a millionaire. Yes, yes, Shy. Yes.
Very true.
Yes. And it shocked me tonight. Not that he can't, obviously he can, but when we came on, man, and I was running behind, I said, damn, Nigel, you got a suit on, man. I thought, man, Nigel used to do t-shirts and don't sleep on the money and PBT. He's like, it's how I was rolling today. I'm saying to myself, I'm too sleepy. I ain't going to put no suit on. So I guess we just going to be, but it's, I will say this here. When you dress good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. But some days you don't feel like that. And there are a lot of people out there that dress. Ooh, here come a boulder, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't make this up. All y'all done heard this or seen it. There are some people that dress that don't have $1. And there are some people that have $1 million that don't dress at all. Just let that soak in. Let that marinate a little bit.
True. 100%.
And then there's some people that got money and dress. They do both of them. No, I didn't catch who did it. Yeah, that's wild, Angelina. No, I didn't catch who did it, man. I wasn't tripping. Everybody, did you file a police report for what? That's just gonna take. It's just gonna take more time. People actually walk up and touch you.
Yes, it is creepy. Look, the last time this is what happened, right?
Give you a second. I'm gonna run to the restroom now. Go ahead, tell your story. I can hear you.
So this actually happened to be in the city where I'm originally from. Well, not in the city, but in a city in the same county. Mind you, the city that I was born in, and like what I'm saying, where I'm from, I didn't grow up there, but I have a lot of family there. I have some family that are still, it's Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so it's a large city, but I have some family that's still down there and stuff. So I'm in the store. My cousin's a manager down there at the Foot Locker. So I'm in the Foot Locker talking to my cousin. My cousin is a little bit different from me in awareness and stuff like that. Me, if I'm talking to you, I'm watching your six, and so you should be watching mine. That's the way that I was always, taught to deal with people and stuff. Basically, we should all be aware of what's going on around us and who's who and what's what and what's going on. Because if something happens to you, it's my fault if I'm the one who can see behind you. That's just how I was raised. So I'm expecting the same with my cousin. I'm not expecting for this to happen, but I'm in the store, and somebody, comes up behind me and they're like, Nigel, and I'm like, hey, yo. And me, I instantly always jump into that instant kind of panic mode of I don't know what's about to happen next. So I turn around and then I'm like trying to figure out who it is, and it was a subscriber lady. She was a nice lady and everything, and she's just like, oh, I was just making sure that was you. I've seen you on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then she kind of backed up, so I felt more comfortable and everything, and you just started having a quick little conversation and everything, and it was like, okay, cool. And it was cool. Like I said, we had a quick conversation. I like your content, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Hey, I thank you for, subscribing, being a part of the channel, whatever. Cool, blah, blah, blah. No problem. Kept moving. But that's my thing is like, you never know. And you have different situations. I went to, and I get recognized at different places and sometimes in awkward situations. I had one situation, I'm getting my hair done and I don't know what's going on. This car spun around the block like 2, 3 times. My car is not common where I live because it's a convertible Mustang. So it's not common. So there's only so many people that, well, it's two of us that I know of that have the same exact car. So me and one other guy. So it's not hard to realize if you're in my area that it's me if I go somewhere. So I'm getting my hair done, and this car is a blacked out SUV, and it's passing by. So then, with the third time, it kind of stops in front of where I get my hair done, and so me now I'm in kind of like panic mode because I'm like I don't know what's going on. So I kind of drop down, and I'm like, "Yo, can somebody go check this out?" Because like I don't know what's going on, and I'm not gonna sit in this chair, but I don't know what can happen next. Um, and then they went and checked it out. Once again, a subscriber. Hey, blah blah. We wanted to meet him, and we weren't sure if that was him or not. So we were just trying to keep looking and see if it's him, and blah blah blah. Okay, cool. But don't be so creepy. Just pass by one time. If you swing back again, um cool, stop the first time, hey, how's it going, is that you, okay, cool, that's you, hi, blah blah blah, no problem. um but for me, like I said, I instantly go into security and safety mode, and that's why I just always tell people, when you see people in public, be cautious of, we are people and we do have families and kids and other people to go home to. And one thing that I was always taught is a good cop is a alive cop. So I'm going to be the alive cop in every situation.
It's crazy, Nigel. I heard you telling your story. You know, I was sitting outside 2 weeks ago, and his car pulled up and just stopped right in front of my crib. And I was like Cube on Boys in the Hood. I was like, I'm like, what's up? I'm like that. And I'm like, man, what are y'all doing? You got all this other space between these houses. You could stop. You stop right in front of my crib. And I don't want to sound like no G or nothing, but I'll come in the house, go get my piece, and walk back. Hey man, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna show it or nothing, but after my car got broken into, I became a little more protective. Let's just put it like that. And yeah, no touching, y'all. And to go a little bit farther, when this lady realized I was on YouTube, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm gonna say it, but I had on a dress shirt, some slack shoes, just getting off work. Went to a little restaurant to get me a sub sandwich, and that's why I ran into her. And she was like, "Oh my God, your fly's open. I can help you with that." And just went to proceed. I'm like, "No, I don't need no help." I didn't realize that, And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
crazy how
And the thing about it is, we don't even like okay, I acknowledge the fact that I have 15,000 subscribers, but I don't think of it as like some crazy odd number, because there's people like Mr. Beast who has 55 million. So I don't look at it as some crazy odd thing, because there's a lot of people who have 15,000 subscribers. So to you, I may seem more important than I do to me. So when you run up to me, I'm I'm not expecting it from a fan point of view, especially when I go back home, which I haven't had anybody do at home, but that would be probably the worst place ever, because it's like I only go to see family and come back. As far as where I grew up, not where I was born. So I I don't feel comfortable even being approached like that there. So that's why I say it's just one of those things where self-preservation is a real thing. Like, we're people.
And Nigel, we don't, at least I don't, and I know you don't. We don't walk around saying, I don't walk in the Kroger cell. I got 3,600 subscribers. Somebody gonna recognize. I don't, man. I'm in there to
Yeah,
get my
no.
stuff. You just when I go out, I'm just Rod. I'm Rod. And if
The most
somebody see me, hey, what's up? Like I talked to like my coworkers was like, oh, I was in your live stream, Rod. And they just be having so much fun with you and tripping on you. And then I sit next to you every day. And I just said, if only y'all knew he gets on my nerves. And I'm laughing.
the craziest being recognized that I've ever had, like the absolute craziest one, and this is gonna be funny. You would not believe I go to City Hall and I was having a water meter installed on my property. And when I go in to pay my first water bill, I was like, thank God I'm paying my bill on time. And after that, I put my water bill on auto pay. But the lady at City Hall, who was the clerk for the water department, she goes, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure not. I'm not from here." She's like, "Do you have family here?" I'm like, "Just my dad. He's aggravating. You probably don't. If you do know him, you probably don't like him." "You sure?" She's like, "You look really." She goes, "I know where I know you from." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You're the Navy Federal guy from YouTube." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's me," and I'm putting my bill on auto pay from now on. I'm not coming to here anymore. She's a cool lady though. Shout out to her. I can't even remember her name right now, but yeah, it was so funny because it was the most awkward one I've ever had. I've been recognized. I got recognized by a parent at the school. He's actually really cool though. We talked, and he actually bought some property in the city where I'm currently living. And he used my methods and stuff, and so I felt like that was really cool because I got to see where it impacted my own community.
And for those of y'all that's just tuning in, man, it's just your boy Rod. We got Nigel Schroeter here. We just really chopping it up. And kind of sort of we talking about credit, but y'all ain't putting no credit stuff in the comments, so we ain't really addressing it. We just having a good time. Just kind of talking about the everyday life of growing, becoming successful. It's funny, Nigel. I went into Bank of America. I recently opened up a business account, I thought it was just a savings account because I was being cheap. So I go to the ATM to put some money in my business account. Y'all, this is embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This is when you know you have too many cards. I go and I kept putting in an ATM. I was in the drive-through ATM and it said, card doesn't work, whatever it said. And I looked at the cards, I know damn well, and it expired in November 2021. Y'all, this was December 2022. The card had been expired a year. So I go inside, and y'all, I am not dressed to go inside. It was one of them Rod days where I looked like I was homeless. I'm serious, man. I had the dirtiest pair of gym shoes I could ever find because they're my most comfortable. I had on some sweats with like 4 or 5 spots in them. I don't think the hoodie had nothing to do with none of what I was wearing. And so I walked up to the lady and said, it was a little black lady. She looked at me as much as she said, like, how can I help you? I said, this gonna probably start on the wrong foot. But first and foremost, I need to make a deposit into my business account. You could see she just had this laughter on her face. Like, okay, yeah, right. And then I said, but my ATM card ain't working. So I got to come inside and give you the money, but I don't know how to fill out this little deposit slip because I ain't did this here since probably 2002. She was like, I said, I know you don't believe me. And she said, hey, brother, come here. You're right. I don't believe you. I said, what shit? I'm serious as hell, woman. Can we bypass this little deposit slip and I give you my social or something? She was like, yeah, we can do that. She said, how much you want to deposit? I said, I ain't got no money on me. Oh, she's like, well, how are you going to make a deposit if you don't have any money? I said, we're going to transfer it out of my personal account into my business account. She said, well, how much you want to try? I said, $100. I think that's a good start. I'm gonna tell y'all something now. Keep in mind, I look like who did it, what for, and how come. I look homeless than 5 people. And she was like, okay. And she said, do you have your personal account? And I said, yeah, let me look at my phone. I gave her my personal account. In my personal Bank of America account, I'm a gold preferred rewards member or something. And you got to have over $20,000 in it. I got about, I don't know, 40, 50,000, 40 something thousand. So when she looked, her eyes got big and she looked at me and she said, do you have an ID? I said, is it a picture of me? Is it a picture of me on the screen or something? She was like, no, I just need to verify something. I said, I know what you want to verify. Here, I gave her my ID. She was like, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah. She was like, do you walk around like this every day? I said, no. Just the days when my ATM card don't work at the drive. You gotta come in the bank. Yo, the point I'm trying to make, man, is we judge people. And you know what's sad about America? It's kind of what Nigel was alluding to. When they see what you have, you get treated a whole lot different.
Yeah.
And I hate that because there's people out there that are homeless, and there's people out there that can't dress and can't do this, and then people treat them. This is what I get out of this, and people treat them like shit. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
And some of them put themselves in that position, but some of them didn't. So now let me get back to this here, man. Oh man, if to a person, not young, old, middle age, what advice would you give to a person going into 2023 with just from a personal growth / want to start a business aspect? What advice would you give?
Take every moment to learn and grow and focus on yourself. Know yourself as a person and be invested in you, and don't let anybody else's belief of you or your thoughts of what their opinions may be of you affect your patterns and seeking out your goals. That would be the best advice that I could give anybody. I feel like for myself, that's one of the things that kind of stunted me is I used to care about what people thought. Like how you were talking about, like walking into the bank, I'd be like, well, I can't look this way and walk into the bank, or I can't do this and walk into the bank. Then I got to a point in life where I would go to the club in gym shorts or go to the club in sweatpants, and then everybody in the club looking at me crazy, like, what's going on with this guy? What I learned was, hey, you don't have to care about what other people care about. I'm here to enjoy myself, to have fun. So I'm gonna enjoy myself and have fun comfortably. If you don't want to allow me in your establishment, that's your loss. I'm perfectly capable of going somewhere else, perfectly capable of spending my money elsewhere. And I feel like that's the main thing today is we have to stop caring about what other people think and other people's opinions. Take some risks, invest in yourself, and push yourself every single day. That's it.
Wow. And I had to catch up on these comments. Curtis, and I got to go back. Angelina had one. I like 2023. People need to invest in self, mental toughness. Agree, Nigel, 100%. Evolve with Edison, great advice. Dress has nothing to do. Finances, 7 real homies in here. We are going to be ending this shortly. Angelina said you might need an entire entourage with security at the rate you're going. People's champ. No, I hope not, because
Yeah, for real.
when I was at the Dallas meetup, everybody said 2 things. Man, you're kind of shy and you're short. Like, first of all, I'm not short. I'm not 6'5", but I'm not short, and I'm not. Believe it or not, people don't believe I'm really an introvert until I get to know you, and then once I do, or if I don't know you, if I'm around a whole bunch of people I don't know, I'm an extrovert. But if it's one-on-one, I'm kind of reserved. So I don't know. I'm confused. I'm somewhere between introvert and extrovert. But no, I don't think I need an entourage. Angelina said she's yet to be recognized by anyone because of her content. I'm extremely incognito and undercover. It's going to happen. Oh, I tell the alliance all the time. Me and Anwar was on the phone for an hour today. I tell the alliance all the time. You don't never know who's watching you. I've had
Mm-hmm.
NFL stars. I had
Yeah,
what's that dude name? I got to look him up. He from one of my reality shows. He liked one of my posts on Instagram. You don't know who's watching you. You'd be
never.
surprised, Angelina.
It
And,
will
and
scare
Shot
you.
just said it. Just wait, Angelina. And Shot said something right now. And this was funny, right? Angelina said, "Do you can recognize what being out and about?" Hey, Shot, not just Shot only do videos from her
I
neck down
know.
because she don't
Yeah,
want public
nobody
exposure. I
knows.
don't blame her. And she said, Angelina, no, if someone recognized me for my voice, I would be terrified. That's a super fan. You never know. There are super fans out there.
Yeah, you be surprised and how people can put pieces together and pull stuff. It would really scare you on some of the stuff that people can do, and people's tactics and stuff. They have voice recognition software where they can run your voice through from a YouTube video, track you to any other social media that you may have. So if you do have some social media like a private account where you show your face, they have all types of software and scary stuff, and there's all types of creeps in this world. That's why I always say, once again, if you meet your favorite YouTuber, comedian, entertainer, whatever, approach them comfortably how you would want to be approached, because you never know what a situation could turn into. I had a situation one night where it was something that broke out in our neighborhood, and a police officer was just trying to be kind and nice. This particular officer happened to know me, and so he came and he knocked on my bedroom window and said, "Hey, we're having an issue in the neighborhood, and I just wanted to make sure that you're okay and everything's good. I'm glad that you were interested and cared enough about me to make that call and do that and check on me. But on the other hand, from the point of view of anyone, if someone knocks on your window at 1 o'clock in the morning, you sense threat. You don't think that it's somebody coming to save you.
Why didn't he knock at
That
your door?
that exactly. What happened was when the whole thing broke out, he like I said, I own multiple properties in the area. So they were on foot and they went and they checked out where my tenant is. And so the next thing they were doing was they were coming, around. And then when they came to my house, how it's positioned, my window is before my front door from the way that they're walking on the street. They're walking from the back of my house up towards the front. So he knocks on my window because he knows that's where I am, but he's not thinking logically either. Hey, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, had he knocked on the wrong window and the wrong person, he could have got shot. And then you just see on the news, guy shoots police officer or something, and it was nothing. It was nothing to that effect to be an aggressive crime or anything like that. You just have to be thinking, and that's what I tell people. You always think before you speak, you should always think before you speak, but you should always, especially, think before you act. And that was one of those times where I had to think before I reacted, because what went through my head at first was threat. Then my second thought was, hold up. If it was a criminal, they would have bust the window. They wouldn't be knocking at it.
Right. But
and
like
that
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what changed my reaction to the initial action. But the initial action was something that, like I said, could have terrified the average individual and caused a much worse situation.
When not so much when I travel, but if I'm in the DFW area, because I have a license to carry, you really don't need it in Texas anymore. But prior to they changing the laws, like when I went to the Dallas meetup, because it was publicized so much, and I didn't know who could, who would, who should show up. When I walked into the hotel, I was packing. And not I didn't have it on my hip, and I have a license to carry. Man, I could walk into any Long as they don't have a sign on the door, I can walk into any Texas establishment with a gun on my hip like Matt Dillon. But I had a concealed weapon on me when I walked into the Hilton for the Dallas meetup because it was publicized so much. I'm like, I don't know who's going to show up here. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
kind of drama could jump off. And it was a handheld a 9 millimeter. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if some jump off, I'm prepared for it. And it's not, it's protection. It's not hoping some jump off. It's just
Self-preservation.
you know.
That's why a lot of people get kicked out of Linux, because Linux has Linux Mall in Atlanta. It used to be really, really nice and everything. And it's in a nice area. However, the people who go don't tend to be the best class of people anymore, especially when you go holidays and stuff like that. I went to Linux one time, and I got followed into the bathrooms. And if you know how the bathrooms are at Linux, it's kind of shaped like a U once you get in there. So I went into the bathrooms quickly, ducked off into a stall, waited for the people to go around, and came out the other way and had to get up out of the mall because they don't legally allow you to carry in Linux. And I'm not going to go anywhere and break the law, but like I said, it's like certain places you just have to be extremely careful and aware of your surroundings and knowing what's going on. I realized afterwards why the people were following me and what had conspired, but it was like, okay, that actually had absolutely nothing to do with me. It's a you know mistaken identity, and I'm 6 hours away from home, and this could have turned out to be a bad situation. And so that's why I always say, awareness is a big thing, but it's very big when, especially, you're dealing with people that have had these jumps and these frights before, in different situations, that you're just cognizant of that people are people.
It's crazy because I know Brown Girl Bella was in Linux a couple of weeks ago, and she took some pictures and showing the nice stores, and I'm like, man, wait, I just thought that was like a crazy mall, but I'm looking at the pictures, and I didn't want to terrify. I didn't want to say, well, you might want to get up out of it. I just say, all right, well, hey, be careful over there, have fun. She sent me some pictures, and
Yeah, it's
we were,
definitely different. Like when I first time I went to Linux, I didn't meet him, but I saw Future, and it was crazy because I'm in the mall, and I'm upstairs, and he was going downstairs as I came up, and he's going down, and I just see this huge guy, and there's a bunch of huge guys surrounding him. So that's when I realized, like, okay, this has to be somebody famous. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, that's Future. And like it used to really be like that, and you would see all the stars in Linux and stuff like that. But now it's starting to go down, and then like that's why DC Youngfly got arrested in Linux, because he went in Linux and got caught with a gun, and they were like, "Oh, well, you can't have a gun," and he's like, "Well, I'm not coming in here anymore." Blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, I don't blame him. You know, Once again, you have to know who you are and where you are, and being that, especially he's from that area, I wouldn't put myself in that position. But one thing I'll tell you, and what got me smarter in life, is I was talking to somebody recently, and they made the comment to me, because I said something about going somewhere without a gun, and they said, "Well, why would you want to go somewhere that you feel like you need one?" And I said, that's very eye opening, because I never really thought about it that way. As far as traveling with or without a weapon, it's not necessarily to say that you should or shouldn't have your gun at this point. But once again, why would I put myself somewhere where I know I need one when there's a million other places to travel in the world?
right. And that's what kind of getting back. We got 8 real homies in the crib. Kind of getting back. When we on this channel we talk about traveling with points and miles, and Nigel was just asked, why would you go to a place where you feel like you? I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't live in the hood. Yet 2 days before Christmas, somebody went in my car and stole my credit cards. There's no such thing as a place where you don't need a gun, because
True.
criminals right now are going to the good neighborhoods to get hit up the better, get bigger licks.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, I know a couple years ago, I used to ride I don't now. And I'm probably saying too much info. Well, maybe I will start tomorrow. But as of yesterday, I didn't ride with a gun, but I used to. And then, but when a lot of the brothers started getting taken out, whether they had a license to carry or not, I said, well, nope, nope, nope. I ain't gonna give them no reason to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stopped. But um, all I can say out there is be safe, man. Be safe. What I do want to promote, and one of the reasons I want to kind of circle back around, one of the reasons I wanted to have Nigel on here tonight, y'all. We got big things coming up. I'm not a fan of, oh, in 2023, I'm leaving 2022 behind. I'm gonna do this. I'm not a fan of all that. Because if you didn't do ish in 2022, you might not do ish in 2023. Let's just be real about it.
True.
However, if you want to grow and you want to say, hey, you know what? I wanna start traveling. I want to see the world. I wanna go some places. I want or I want to start a business, or I want to be better than I was in 2020. It ain't got to be 2022. I probably listen to it, but oh man, 2023, man, I ain't taking no prisoners, dog. I'm not probably listening to that. First question I'm asking, what the hell did you do in 2022? And I want this channel and Nigel's channel and our webinars to be the place you can come to and say, hey, you know what? I may not be able to do exactly what they're talking about right now, but I'm going to establish a game plan to one day get to that point, and hopefully it be before the end of 2023. That I will listen to. That I will listen to. You have to have a plan. This man here is 23 years old and doing all this stuff. I guarantee you, it don't just pop up and he got a little genie beside him, or what that little dude on Flintstone Gazoo riding on his shoulder saying, Nigel, do this, Nigel, do that. No, it starts with a strategy and a plan. Any place can be dangerous, but personally, I still wouldn't go to place I already know. Yep, there you go.
True.
There you go. There you go. I'm ready to try. What's best cards? Oh man, there's so many of them. Curtis, it's so many of them, man. I got 500 some videos, bro. 500 some video. Nigel, who knows? Nigel probably got 5,000 videos. Mm-hmm. And on a different live stream, I'll definitely break that down. It just depends on what you're trying to do. And I can break that down. But man, I will say 2023, if you have to have a resolution, be a better you than you were in 2022. And that goes for Rod, Nigel, anybody else out there. Be a better you in 23 than you were in 22.
That's why I love Eda's channel name, Evolving with Eda. Evolve every single day. Be a better person. It's not even about, because I've been watching a lot of different things on changing mindset. As you guys can probably tell, like, yes, I'm still the same person, but my mindset evolves every single day. One video that I watched recently talked about breaking your day up into 3 different days and looking at every day as 3 days and seeing if you could accomplish the amount of work that you do in 3 days and 1 day by breaking your day up into 8-hour segments instead of breaking your day up into 24 hours. Then I read the 12-week year where it talks about breaking a year up 52 weeks into 12 weeks and setting your goals for 12 weeks that segments instead of 52-week segments. But most importantly, out of all of that, the most important aspect is that you take every single day to better yourself. The perception of how you do it doesn't matter. But every day you're supposed to break your day up into different portions to better yourself. You need rest at some point in time. You need some type of physical, exercise. You need some type of mental exercise. You need time with your family. You need time to yourself. You need to break your time up to evolve you and make you a better person every single day. I come and I punch into the office. I told Rod, I've probably been to my office 4 or 5 times today. And guess what? When I leave my office, I go spend time with family. I go back home. I go see the kids. I see Crystal. I enjoy myself. I enjoy my family. Remember, you have people here that you love, and you want to still take time uh to be a person more than anything, but you also want to take time to better yourself with the time that you do have.
You know, man, tonight, and some people probably came here and left. They say, "Oh, I want to hear my credit card. I want to hear my," but sometimes you have to hear about foundation. I never forget, I had a brother out of La Jolla, California, which is one of the richest areas in San Diego. He was my professor in college when I was going to school back in 2017, 18. And he really broke some stuff down to me. And when he talked about personal finance, he started with the foundation. Right now, we're laying the foundation for life, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just about credit cards. And Etta, when you say you love involving Etta, she had to give you the emoji with all the hearts and stuff. I forgot to reach out to Draco, my daughter, and tell her you was gonna be on here. I had to tell her to go catch the replay. She goes, Daddy, I don't want no replay. I want to see Nigel live already. To evolve is to live and evolve with Etta. Definitely make sure you sub to at Curtis Davis, Wealth of Travel Card Knowledge. Okay. And man, Curtis, hey Curtis, I may have to have you on the show, man. I didn't know you had a channel, man. Let me jot your name down, brother.
Yeah.
I know you come in here and I would love to collab with you. I'm gonna go check you out, man. Or I might have you on my other channel, the Points Blank Experience. I would love to have you and Nigel up here and have three brothers up here talking about credit, because I'm just gonna be real with y'all, man. Y'all know I don't sugarcoat nothing. You barely supposed to have one brother up here talking about credit. Then you got two brothers up here talking about credit. And we had a third one. Oh man, this could be on ABC or Fox News or something. You know.
I don't know if she meant two TOO or TO, because when I clicked on his name, it didn't give me nothing. I'm trying to see.
I don't know. Shy, what did you mean when you said sub two? Oh, make sure you're subscribed to. Oh, no. I see what it is. Here's what she said, Nigel. I misread that. My bad. And once I read her correction, she said she's telling Curtis to make sure he's subscribed to us, because there's a
Yes, that's what I was saying. I thought it was TOO.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I done wrote your name down. Hold up, Curtis. I gotta write your name out of here, man. Because I'll be over here looking for. I'll come here tomorrow, like Curtis Davis, subscribe, and I'll be looking for you tomorrow because my schedule is jam packed. I love this mastering self rest, evolve, grow, spend time, better mindset, to a degree, Nigel. Yes. Poway, La Jolla said, "Oh, okay, you in Poway? You in Poway or you in La Jolla? Where you at? Because I moved to Dallas from San Diego. I was in Rancho San Diego, East County. Sorry, it was a typo. I meant Curtis said something. You and yeah, okay, thank you. Well, we figured it out. Chili Dave YouTube just started. Okay, yes, I've been watching Nigel while I'm subscribed to both of y'all. Thank you, sir. Thank you. 6 real homies in the crib, man. I'm not gonna keep Nigel on here much longer. Y'all, this was a very impromptu live. I had a whole different topic I was going to talk about tonight, which what's today? Sunday. I may do that Wednesday unless and I don't, as of right now, I don't have any interviews scheduled for the Points Blank Experience on Wednesday. Oh, okay. You was in the South. Okay, in Poway. I'm very familiar with Poway down by San Diego. In San Diego, man, I don't know if it's San Diego County. I know it's closed. But man, it has been a pleasure to have my main man Nigel Schroeter on here as usual. And this was like kind of impromptu. Some may say, "Oh, y'all was all over the place." Well, we don't script our stuff. We just come over here and Angelina's still here clowning. She always, because I leave the A out, Nigel. I just said Sunday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And now she got Bella teasing me with that. But today is Sunday. So Wednesday, is it Wednesday or Sunday? Hell, I don't even know what day it is.
Sunday here.
Yeah. So I may go live again on here and do a credit card. live. But what I'm trying to do is expand this channel, and y'all gonna see more videos. I've been saying this for the longest in your lives on this channel, going back to the basics. And
Thank you, Kurt.
Nigel, you got anything you want to close out with, man?
Hey, like I said, it's great to be back. I'm grateful for everybody who's tuned in and watching. Grateful for everybody who's been a part of the channel from the beginning of the journey up until now. Grateful for Rod. Well, sorry, Rod. My camera's inverted. Grateful for having Rod over here, and being a part of the channel, being a part of the family, and just being here with us along this journey, and offering me the opportunity to come to his channel and be a part of it. Um, I'm grateful for every moment that I've had and every opportunity that I've had, up until this point. And I just want to say to everybody who's out there watching, never give up on your goals. I heard something here recently, that said consistency is doing something over and over again. Persistence is doing something over and over again, even when it gets hard. Be persistent, not consistent. Make a change in yourself every day. Grow as a person, evolve, and keep moving forward.
Wow. I want to challenge everybody, and I can tell you one of the things I did today. I was on a phone conversation for a while. I want to challenge everybody, not a resolution, but I want to challenge you to find something that you're not good at and make that better. Like right now, I look at Points Blank Travel and the whole Points Blank network, and I think about where I could be if I was better, and I suck at time management. I was supposed to record 3 videos a day. I recorded 0. I recorded none. But I had a good day because I talked to someone that's very close to me. Um, and she had the opportunity to get on a conference call with Nigel and myself. And it blessed my spirit. So I will give up the day of not recording to bless my spirit, or to enhance my spirit, whatever you want to say. And I want to, if I would ever say, thank you, gentlemen. This has really been good for my soul. Angelina said, you could thank Bella for bringing awareness to how you said the days of the week, Rod. Yeah, I thought it was you, but maybe it was her, because she always, yeah, she teased me too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, she be teasing me too. Prayers plus persistence take you the distance. Curtis, I like that. I like that, man. And your favorite couple still in the crib, man. My right hand man, Shelton. My right hand sister, Key. Are you connected to our guest Nigel's YouTube channel? There's his YouTube channel. Also, go to his website. Visit his website. Hey, your favorite couple. Now, man, I'm telling you, when they come in the building, when your favorite couple come in the building, y'all, it's gonna be some haze and how you doing. And I love it. I love it. 6 real homies still in the crib. Again, tonight, y'all have witnessed greatness. I say that anytime I have a guest on here, because I'm only gonna bring the best of the best on any channel that I have. Hey there, just been listening in the background. And tonight, y'all, me and Nigel, we didn't get too deep. We didn't have to get serious with credit cards. And there was a lot of stuff we didn't really get into it. I was letting Nigel have the floor, and but I like what he said, we're gonna wait till the webinar. And in this webinar, man, once we get the logistics figured out, we're gonna put it out there. And I can tell you it's gonna be worth being a part of.
Yes.
It's going to be worth being a part of. Y'all have witnessed greatness. I always say when I get with Nigel's drumline, man, old school meets new school. And together, it's unstoppable, because you have some people that need to hear it from my perspective. You have some people to hear it from Nigel's perspective, and then you have some people in the middle. And I'm gonna read these. I'm glad that you're here. Your favorite couple. Yeah, they've been here, man. I know how they roll. Good night, everyone. Have a productive week. Matter of fact, I need to holler. It's still kind of early. I need to holler at Shelton. Um, been here from the start, but couldn't type. Nighty night, my dear Edda. Good night, evolving Edda. I understand that your favorite couple. Well, Nigel, man, I ain't gonna play no music or none of that. I'm just gonna hit this button and get us out of here, yo.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, brother. If you
Oh
can
yeah.
hang out behind the
Anytime.
scenes for a half a second
Oh
when I
yeah.
end this here, much love. Everybody out there, do me a favor if you haven't done so. Subscribe to your boy, Nigel Schroeter. Subscribe to Points Blank Travel. If you haven't done so, ring my doorbell, and that is that thumbs up button. Hit that joint. If you forgot to hit it on the way in, definitely hit it on the way out. Share this video, share the channel. I'm not going to necessarily say share the channel. Share the video, share the channel with your family and friends. You never know who could be here. As I end each and every video, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. I can guarantee you. I will be coming at you soon, dropping more heat, dropping more fire, more importantly, dropping more knowledge. You never know who could be here. Who knows? It could be you. It could be Shah Sarai. It could be Angelina Nordstrom. Who else in here? Could be evolving with Edda. Edda's already been on the Punch Blank Experience. Your favorite couple has been on here, but you never know. Oh my goodness. I was about to get out of here. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. I got this one. Angelina, you almost got me, but because I just said it, this big long hashtag
Shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the
amongst the
stars.
stars, baby.
I just got it.
And I can tell you right now, we're all stars in here. In 2023, we're winning. And I want to take the time right now, seriously, before I get out of here. I want to I always thank him, but I got to thank him one more time. Not for yesterday or last year, but day in and day out. This dude is always giving me ideas. And I got to thank my man Shelton from Your Favorite Couple. And if I just halfway listen to him, I'm gonna say this right now. He ain't gonna believe I'm gonna say what I'm about to say. If I half-ass listen to him, if I just half-ass listen to him, 2023 is gonna be the biggest year for Point Blank Travel. But they're doing some things. They do have a launch party coming up January 20th. Your Favorite Couple, a launch party coming January 20th. They're launching a new business. And once they launch this new business, I can expect Shelton not to be giving me the advice he's been giving me. So now your boy got to take these big old antennas I got on the side of my head. I got to listen a little harder, and I got to soak up everything he's saying, because come January 20th, he may not have time to give me as many ideas as he's been giving me. But I want to thank him. I want to thank Key. January 20th. If they still in here, man, hold on, let me see something. Hey, man, because I know by the time I look for it, yeah. Your Favorite Couple, you sit here because y'all drop the link to that launch party, please. Please. I hate saying I hate, matter of fact,
and not to cut you off, Rob, but something you said, and it just popped back in my head. So I want to say it again. You said to the people go find out where their weaknesses are and focus on improving that, right? Well, I took public speaking my freshman year in high school. Tell me what grade I got in it.
I'm gonna say a D.
A C.
Okay.
I would never know D student. Only class I ever got a D in was chemistry 2.
Well, I just thought it'd be terrible because you said it. So, but I
it was terrible for me. I was an A student. That was a terrible grade for me. A C. I was hurt.
Wow.
And I got a C in that class, and that bothered me because that was my lowest grade ever. At the time was a C in public speaking. I'm like, how do I get a C in a class like public speaking? Now today I get paid to speak. The lady who gave me that C didn't even realize that today I'm getting paid to speak. I made $700 an hour last year doing a speaking gig. $700 for an hour to speak. But I was a C student in public speaking. Y'all do the math. Find what they say you're bad at. Focus on it. Improve it. Critique it. And make it your thing.
Did y'all hear what he just said? Find out what you're bad at. Like I'm bad at posting links, dropping links. But see, on a serious note, find out what you're bad at. Yo, I'm terrible at time management, but I know if I get better at time management, I'm gonna be more fruitful with revenue. Mm-hmm. And y'all, this is inner core. And can't nobody help me no more than they have. Bella's tried to help me. Sheldon's tried to help me, and I'm still failing. It starts right here. Nigel just said he was a C student, but he just got paid $700 to speak for an hour. I ain't telling no kids out there to go get no C in class, but all I'm saying, I'll be a C student all day, every day. And I forgot Shy was in here and had it. But y'all, I'm going to post my link because, damn it, I went over here and looked for this here while Nigel was talking, and Shy already done beat me to the punch. But y'all, seriously, hold up, I'm gonna post my damn link, man. Y'all ain't. I'm not gonna be denied. We gonna have it on here twice because I went over there and searched. But see, look at Shy. She pinned it. Official party. Your favorite couple. Look at mine. Mine all ghetto. I ain't got no pins. Look at Shy's. Look at this here, y'all. And then look at mine. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna put Shy's up here. But hey, man, y'all, what we tried to drop tonight was different nuggets. And I know some people come in here and just want to hear about credit cards and points and miles. And I apologize in advance if I disappoint you. But sometimes there are things out there that people may need to hear that's beyond that. And like what Nigel just said right now, like I didn't know I was going to say, find something that you're afraid of and tackle that. And I didn't know Nigel got a C in public speaking, even though I say he got a D. I knew it wasn't good because he would have never asked. I didn't know he got a C, and now he getting $700 to speak. And then he dropping again, y'all. If you're just not tuning in, he dropped 3 videos today and 6 shorts a month across multiple social media platforms. Yet he got a C in public speaking. 15,000 people don't subscribe to you if you can't speak. You'll be lucky if you get 15 to subscribe to you. I'm just saying. She said, no, you ain't gotta let me be great. I forgot you can do that, man. No, you can be great. I don't want to be great no more. I ain't dropping no more links.
Oh, and mind you, I made more money on YouTube than she made from her adjunct professor pay to teach that class. And I know that because I'm an adjunct professor at the same college that gave me a C in public speaking.
You know, it's funny. It's funny, man. Y'all, what we try to do here, we try to motivate people, man. Some people right now, I want y'all to hear what I'm about to say. I want y'all to really listen. And there's a dude I communicate with every day. I'm gonna let y'all read between the lines, and we talk about our next moves and what cards and how we want to get points and miles. Everybody can't do that. Everybody don't care about that. Everybody don't care about no points and miles. But I tell you what, I don't know too many people unless they crazy that don't care about coming up and being good at something. I walked out of my office the other day and across the dealership, and there was a man in there doing what you call that stuff when you got them 2 needles and you making some like a crochet, a needle point or whatever they call it. I ain't never in my life seen a dude do that. But he was so into it, I said, he's going to be the best needle pointer he can be. And some people right now, I'm proud of this young man. He's sitting in our office right now with an executive chair with a big old mic and a suit on. Be the best you can be. You don't have to impress Rod. You don't have to impress Nigel. You don't have to impress, if you got a wife maybe or a husband, maybe you want to impress them. But it starts with impressing yourself. Because if you ain't happy, I guarantee you can't make nobody else happy. I guarantee you. I want to go back. I want to thank Crystal for being here. I want to thank everybody that came in tonight. I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. We 2 hours and 27 minutes. And nah, she said, who's Sheldon? First of all, I ain't gonna even say that, but no, I'm not gonna disclose who it was, but it's somebody that I talk to on a regular basis, I communicated with on a regular basis. But and as we end this live stream and y'all go to chill or whatever you're gonna do tonight, take some of the pointers that's been put out tonight. Nigel dropped a lot of boulders tonight. Go back and watch the replay if you missed some of them. Think about something you're not good at and try to get better. I'm not going to say perfect it, get better at it. One of the things I also challenge people to do in 2023, find one person that you could collaborate with. I don't mean do a live stream or a YouTube video. One person that you could, what did Nigel say earlier? Nigel, what's the word you use? Accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel dropped some boulders, y'all. If you just tune in, go back and watch it. But find an accountability partner. I can tell you, I know I have a couple. I have a couple of them. Mm-hmm. But one person that keep me more accountable than anybody, and I'm sure when I respond in the text message, he can see I'm getting frustrated because I ain't being accountable. I ain't living up to my end of the bargain. And that is Shelton from Your Favorite Couple is actually my accountability partner. This dude here, and he'll tell me, he'll go in someday like 5 texts in a row. Hey, did you do this? Did you do this? Where's this video? And I'm like, I'm looking at my phone. But y'all, I am so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for that. Again, thankful because I know it. I know I have several people, but your accountability partner, while you over here getting frustrated, you holding your phone and you want to just crumble it with your hands if you use Incredible Hulk, you know that there's somebody out there that care. There's somebody out there that care about you, and they want to see you get to that next level. That's just a little note from ROD from PBT. And Nigel, you got anything else to say? I'm about to hit this end broadcast, and we about to raise up, brother.
Oh no, I'm letting it roll out this time. You know we go all night.
Yeah, we 2 hours, 29 minutes, 49 seconds, 50 seconds. Again, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. Also, make tomorrow a better day than the day. We can't rechange yesterday, but we can always focus on tomorrow. Y'all heard it here. I'm your boy Rod. We out. Peace, much love. We'll see y'all soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. You never know when I'm dropping more content, and you damn sure never know who's going to be on here. Until the next time, peace, baby. We'll see y'all later.